Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Raw Law Unfiltered with your host, the DUI Guy Plus. Where do I even begin this video? Because so much has happened since we last went live on my channel, which I believe was Sunday. For those of you who have not been keeping up with the Joneses, for those of you who have not been keeping up with the Haleses, oh, I know I did have a stream on Monday. I had a stream on Thursday last week. We had the Haleses on for the first time. They introduced themselves and told their story on stream. If you have not seen it, it's in the lives. I have a special playlist now, by the way, because we have made quite a few videos on this topic. And the playlist is called What the Haleses Saga. And if you click on that, you have the 1.5 hour live stream with the Haleses, the 20-minute TLDR version by me. It's like a 20-minute video for those of you who don't have the time to spend listening and watching hours upon hours, because this is stacked. I mean, there's probably 24 hours of footage on multiple channels now, at least. And What the Haleses have probably weeks of footage on their channel. Then in that playlist is also the 42-second message. People keep calling it a voicemail. I mean, it's basically a voicemail because I was not on the other end, but it was the 42-second video of the conversation between who we suspect to be a former judge. And the reason we suspect it to be a former judge is because my sources and myself understand the language that the person uses. First of all, they ask, I'm asking for a friend, right? For a friend. So he's asking for Judge DeThomasis because he says, is this Mr. Foreman's legal strategy to phone flood? And the term phone flooding, those two words, I have never heard those before in my life. I've been practicing law for 11 years, and I've been on the planet almost 36 years. Year of the Dragon. Yeah, baby. I've been on the planet 36 years, and I've never in my life heard the term phone flooding, ever. So, and then I learned from my sources that phone flooding is synonymous with Judge DeThomasis. That's a DeThomasis phrase. So that's how we deduce that's a former judge. And the language, the way that they're speaking is very cordial, very polite, very, they're not cussing. They're not trying to you can tell they're not just a plebe, if you will. I probably insulted everybody in the chat by saying that, but that's not the goal. I'm here to help people and to educate them. So that's what we're here for. But they sound very educated. They sound sufficiently well-versed in that language. And so that is why we suspect it to be a former judge, or at least some sort of litigant. Wait, that's not the one I wanted to highlight. Where's the one? Here we go. James Ollinger. Of course, you guys all want to know the latest. Do you know what happened in court today with Jeremy? I do, and I will share it with you all momentarily, because I was absolutely convinced that I was getting ready to book the flight to come down to Levy County tomorrow. I was actually going to go to Tampa. I was going to fly into Tampa, get a car, and then drive. It's like a 2-hour drive from Levy. I'm pretty sure. You guys can confirm. But I had to slow the chat down a lot, as you can see, because I don't remember the last time I had to do 60-second delay on messages. Maybe Johnny Depp trial. So let me know if that is okay. If the 60-second delay is too much, I will relax it. Or if it becomes not enough, let me know and I will tighten it as well. Okay. So people are saying it's about 2 hours from Tampa. So that's perfect. A 2-hour drive is nothing. Because if I drive from Louisville, it's like 11 and a half, I saw. And I'm like, I could do that too. But that's like a 22-hour round trip. And nobody wants to do that. So the hearing happened. Let's talk about the hearing, okay? Let's talk about today first. So, oh, I'm sorry. Let me finish. See, I started doing something. Let me finish it. So the TLDR is also on my channel. Then on Sunday, Megan joined me on my channel on February 25th. This is on my channel for 5 hours. She was with me for about 3.5 of those. We streamed the What the Hells is want to disqualify Judge DeThomasis for bias and prejudice. We read the third and portions of the second, as well as the order denying the second motion to disqualify. And at the time, this was Sunday, there was a third motion to disqualify pending. Now things have changed. We will get to that. Be patient. I am leading you to the meat. Okay, this is the appetizer. The main course, of course, is going to be Lynette's redacted petition. So that's the main course for today. That's not going anywhere. I'm just catching you all up while people are pouring in here. We already are at almost 6,000 of you. This is wild. Somebody told me, Larry, you're going to have 30,000 people watching. And I'm like, I don't believe it. So I guess we'll see. So what the hell's is disqualification motion? Megan and I went over it on my channel. That was on Sunday. Then on Monday, on my channel, right before I went live with that umbrella guy, speaking of, what the hell's is are going to be live on that umbrella guy's channel tonight. So go check that out later on. And we streamed that evening. But before that, on my channel, I went over just past dealings of Judge DeThomasis for 2 hours, just over 2 hours. We kind of went over who he is, the negative. He had received so many negative reviews. It's staggering. He's not a good judge across the board. People don't like him. People don't like him because of this case. People don't like him because of previous cases. It's just life. It's just life, man. Then on Tuesday, yesterday, we had the Haleses on Megan's channel, Megan Fox writer, and we watched hearing number 4, cover to cover. I was there almost the entire time. I had to leave because I had other obligations, and it was late and I was tired. But Megan, the trooper, Megan Fox writer, Megan Fox the trooper, she wrote it out and finished the hearing with the Haleses, who stayed the entire time. So if you've not seen it on her channel, go to her channel, go subscribe, go to Tug's channel. That's that umbrella guy. Go subscribe to his channel as well. He did a video on it. Very, very exciting stuff. Okay. So that's been the appetizer. Is my camera flipped again? I just realized. Let me flip it back. Here we go. See, because I don't know why it does that. So you can see Tears of Opposing Counsel. This is one of my favorite new mugs. Danny on Direct. I saw it on her channel or something, or on one of her posts, and I was like, I have to have one of my own. It's like every time I take a sip, it's like, So anyway, as people continue to pour in here, keep me posted. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat. And I'm going to make sure that everyone is getting a fair shake and a chance to speak, because if we get too many people, I will need to slow the chat down even more. So just keep me posted on that. Okay. All right. So what happened today? Today, before we get to the main course, this is the final appetizer. You guys, I know you guys want to know what happened today. Today, this is what I know. Okay. This is what I know. This morning at around 9:47 a.m. And I can show you guys that I'm not bluffing. Okay. This morning at 9:47 a.m., the judge denied his third motion to disqualify. So the third motion that was pending before the court that was, I think, supposed to be heard on March the 1st, hearing date, I have a copy, and we're going to go over it probably tomorrow, okay? Notice the times. This is very critical. This is literally today, February 28th, 9:47 in the morning, just 8 hours ago. 3 hours before the hearing, less than 4 hours, 3.5, whatever, before the hearing at 1:30. The judge says, I am not disqualifying myself. Period, the end. For the third time, right? Exactly, American GG55. What a shocker. What a shocker. Oh, Chandler, I know you can't wait for this. I'm with you on that. Joran, oh my God, no way. I was blurry for a second. Yeah, it should fix itself. Wow. See, all the chat understands. This is no surprise. Exactly, Vonda. No surprise at all. Now, look at the time, okay? Remember this timestamp. 9:47, all right? You guys watching? Watch the screen. 9:55. At 9:55, right here at the top. 9:55. That means 8 minutes later. My thing is glitching. Give me just a second. Let me reshare it, because StreamYard used to be really good about this stuff, and now they're not doing so hot. Anyway, you guys can see it right here on the screen. At 9:55 in the morning, 7-8 minutes after the motion to disqualify has been denied for the third time by Judge DeThomasis, surprise, surprise, motion for stay of the trial court proceedings pending a petition for writ of prohibition. What does that mean? It's a bunch of people have been asking me, Larry, what does this mean? Larry, what does this mean? Larry, what does this mean? I'm here to tell you what this means, okay? When a judge is being asked to step down, step off, remove themselves from the case for bias, prejudice, etc., a lawyer is without option but to ask the court to pause proceedings and or to file a writ of prohibition. So today, this motion was heard in front of Judge DeThomasis, and allegedly, again, I don't have confirmation of this. Maybe once we get the video, we'll know more. Judge DeThomasis says something along the lines of, I'm not granting that. Your motion is denied, because he said something like, it's untimely, it's not proper, you didn't file the proper procedure, you didn't file, I don't know what he said. He said one of those things. Basically, whatever you did, counselor, lawyer, is not in congruence with the rules. All right, fine, whatever. So he denied the motion. So not only he's like deny. However, and this is where I got confused, because I tweeted on X, I said, I'm coming down to Florida because on March 1st, we have a hearing. The judge was continuing like nothing happened. But this is the part that I missed. I missed the part where judge said, apparently, he said something along the lines of, I will agree to like suspend proceedings or whatever if you actually file the writ of prohibition. So if the lawyers file a writ of prohibition by like, I don't know, sometime Friday morning, there will be no court on Friday. Okay? Because he understands once a writ of prohibition is basically saying, Your Honor, you don't belong on this case. And now we're asking a higher court to remove you. And at that point, his hands are tied. He is shackled by the law. This is the issue that I ran into back in 2020. I had one of my own judges did that to me. I've shown the video before. I won't bore you guys with this video again, because I've shown it before. And you can find it on my channel. It's under shorts. Literally, if you go to my channel at the DUI Guy Plus and you go to shorts, you'll find, and you could hit popular, it's got like 17 million views. It went viral. It went viral, I think, last year around this time. And for good reason, because it was literally a judge that would refuse. Anyway, I won't get into it. So this is the same kind of thing. The judge is refusing to remove himself, is refusing to disqualify. The only difference is, as I understand it, Judge DeThomasis is, or has said, I should say, has said, again, the word on the street is from my sources, that if you file this motion, this writ of prohibition, it's not a motion, it's a writ. Writ is fancy term for motion for the higher ups, if you want to look at it that way. If you file this writ of prohibition against me, I will not hold court on Friday. And of course, the lawyers are ready to file it. They're going to file it, and it's going to freeze the proceedings. And that's obvious. At that point, it's going to be, you know, that song, you're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love, right? So it'll be like, Your Honor, your courtroom is cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our rights. That's basically what's going to be going on here. Okay? Now, let's talk about what you all came here for. So, as we sit here today, this is the redacted petition of Lynette. Oh, come on, it's glitching again. Give me just a second. Let me fix it. Let's go full screen mode. Present share. Here we go. This is Lynette's petition. Okay. So before we get into it, just so you understand, at the moment the writ is filed, the judge, according to my source, says that no court on Friday. Very important. The moment the writ is filed, no court on Friday. Now let's get to the main event. And we'll basically be waiting. We're going to be waiting for the writ to be resolved by the higher ups. And that's going to take some time. And that's normal. Nothing wrong with that. But here's the problem. What about Jeremy's rights? That's what we don't know. Is Jeremy still not going to be able to have a gun? Is Jeremy still going to be silenced? Or is he still going to be punished for my speech and Harry Marker's speech and Maiko's Adventure's speech and Amy's speech and Christine Roman Noodle's speech and Roseanne Deloria's speech and Roseanne Solomon's speech and Nancy Howard's speech and Daisy Rodriguez's speech? You get the point. We don't know. I don't know if the temporary injunction is going to be lifted. Is it still going to be in place? We're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see. Once the writ is filed, which should be filed tomorrow, once it is filed, the proceedings are automatically stayed. So even though he denied the motion for a stay today, he said, according to my source, if this happens, then I will freeze it. Okay, fantastic. Let's talk about the main event. In the Circuit Court, 8th Judicial Circuit, in and for Levy County, Florida. This is the case number. None of this is, everything in here that is sensitive information, such as names of children, addresses, and so on, have been redacted. This is the redacted version of the petition. Lynette MLA Preston, petitioner, versus Jeremy Hales, respondent. And there it is right at the top. Petition for injunction for protection against stalking. It's hard to believe this all started out as a stalking case. And here we are. I, Lynette Michelle Lacey Alexis Preston. By the way, why does she have 3 middle names? But whatever. Being sworn, certify that the following statements are true. Section 1. So remember, she certifies that these statements are true. Everything that she's writing is true. So if we catch her in a lie, she may be liable for perjury at some point. Now the world will know. This is the first time this has been read anywhere on the internet, as far as I know. as far as I know. This is why the video is titled First Look, by the way. I'm like 99.8% confident that this exists nowhere else on the internet. Section 1, petitioner. Well, up until now. This section is about you. It must be completed. These are instructions. However, if you require that your address be confidential for safety reasons. Now, I found this very interesting. If you require that your address be confidential because you are afraid for your safety, you should complete and file a request for confidential filing of address, Florida Supreme Court approved, form such and such, and write confidential in the space provided on this form for your address and telephone number. She wrote her address. This is why you see a black line here. She wrote her address. So she did not write confidential. You can see there's even text kind of bleeding over it. So you know she did not write, unless she wrote confidential 10 times over, which I know she didn't because I've seen the unredacted version of this document. So she is in such fear for her life of Jeremy. She's in such fear. Oh, come on, Eileen. That's just rude. That's just mean. She's in such fear of her life. She's like, but I live at this address. That's huge. That is huge because to me, if you are in fear for your life, you don't want to give out confidential information about yourself to anyone because that is risky. They could come and find you. They can go to the courthouse and get a copy of this and find out where you live. And she fears for her life so much, she writes it right there on the petition, smack dab, confidential, schmemfidential, I don't care, courts, you can know where I live. And Jeremy Hales, if you ever get a hold of this, you can know where I live. That's how scared I am. Petitioner seeks an injunction for protection for a minor child. That's not here because that's not, it's for herself. At the time, remember, this is the filing on September 7th, 2023. You see here at the top right corner, September 7th, 2023, 11:22 is when the clerk stamped it. Section 2, respondent. This section is about the person you want to be protected from. It must be completed. Respondent resides at the following address. Please provide last known street address, city, state, and zip code. And again, that's why this portion is redacted. Respondent's last known place of employment, their address and working hours of respondent. This would be Jeremy's information, which is completely blank because she doesn't know where he is employed. And I know that he makes a lot of his living using what's it called? Storage units. He does storage units. And of course, his YouTube channel. But he doesn't like talking about it, so I won't either. He likes to keep the magic alive for the viewers. And you know what? That's kudos to him, honestly. It's actually a really cool idea to just kind of keep it keep the magic going. And now this whole lawsuit has kind of breached the magic. It kind of pierced the veil, you know. But anyway, so she doesn't know where he works. She didn't list any. Now, physical description of the respondent. Race, C, I'm guessing for Caucasian. Male, check mark. She doesn't know his date of birth. Height, weight, she leaves that blank. Eye color, brown. Hair color, brown. Distinguishing marks and or scars, none. Vehicle, she could have very easily listed Jeremy's vehicle because I'm sure she has seen it, but she decided to omit this information entirely. It's completely blank. This is not redacted. Anytime you see a black line, it's redacted. If it's completely white like this, it means it's not been filled out. Other names respondent goes by, aliases or nicknames left blank. Respondent's attorney, if you know it. If you do not know it, write unknown. She didn't even write unknown. She's very terrible at following directions and instructions. That's going to be a very common and repeated theme in this case, as you will see in this petition. Okay. If respondent does not have an attorney, write none. So write none or unknown, and she just leaves it blank because he doesn't have an attorney, and she doesn't know if he has an attorney. So Jeremy at this point, according to the petition, has Schrodinger's attorney. He's both there and he's not there, both at the same time. Section 3. Case history and the reason for seeking petition. So this is where things get interesting. Has petitioner ever received? Petitioner, again, is Lynette. Anytime you hear the word petitioner, it's Lynette. Respondent is Jeremy, okay? So that will clear things up in the future. Petitioner ever received or tried to get an injunction for protection against stalking against respondent in this or any other court? Yes. Okay. If yes, what happened in that case? Include case number if known. Not enough evidence. So she tried to get an injunction and she just says, I did not have enough evidence for a previous injunction, which is really curious. Does that mean that she does not have enough evidence for this either? We don't even know. The judge still hasn't ruled on it. Has respondent ever received or tried to get an injunction for protection against stalking against petitioner in this or any other court? No. So respondent in this case is Jeremy. Has he ever received or tried to get an injunction against you, Lynette, in this or any other court? Now, chat, maybe you can help me out on this. Remember, this is September 7th, 2023. So we're going back in time. We're going back in time. Can somebody fill me in? When did Jeremy go to Ohio? When did Jeremy get the Ohio injunction? Oh, that umbrella guy is in the chat. What's up, homie? Okay, people are saying it was before. That was in May. So that is a lie. That was a lie. That's what I thought. I wanted confirmation from the chat before I said something. So that's her first lie. Because Ohio was already on file. So her saying, has Jeremy responded? I'm just going to, maybe I'll, instead of respondent and petitioner, just for simplicity's sake, maybe I will just say Jeremy and Lynette, just so you guys understand. Has Jeremy ever received or tried to get, so has Jeremy ever tried to get an injunction for protection against stalking against Lynette, you, in this or any other court? The answer should be yes here. Unless it was in October. May was the cease and desist. People are saying it was not May. May was the cease and desist. And by the way, if you guys want to play a drinking game, I mean, listen, I'm sober, so I don't drink alcohol. For those of you who don't know me, I have been sober for 63 months come March. So I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol. You're welcome to raise your glasses if you want every time we catch Lynette in a lie, because if we catch her in an exaggeration or a lie, I think my audience is going to be passed out by the time this live is over. So let's just say when she gets caught in a lie, drink. How about that? Everybody cool with it? Let's do that. Okay. So number 2 may or may not be a lie. I don't know the timeline. Remember, this is September 7th, 2023, and Jeremy got his injunction from Ohio, I believe later. But I could be wrong. Okay. And let me slow the chat down a little bit more. It looks like we are flying through this. We have 11,000 people in the chat. You guys weren't kidding. We may get to 30,000 people today. This is insanity. But hey, that's because you guys want this content. Let's do this. Let's do a cute number. Let's do 77 seconds. How about that? 77 seconds. So just raising it just a little bit, a minute, 17 seconds. Okay. Number 3, describe any other court case that is either going on now or happened in the past between petitioner and respondent. Include case number if no, not applicable. So this is the first time she's filing anything. Okay. Number 4, petitioner. She's saying, I, Lynette, am a victim of stalking because respondent Jeremy has, and she checked all but one. A, committed stalking. B, previously threatened, harassed, stalked, cyberstalked, or physically abused. It's an or. So she's not saying he did all these things. It's previously threatened, harassed, stalked, cyberstalked on the internet, or physically abused. The petitioner, Lynette. C, threatened to harm Lynette or family members or individuals closely associated with Lynette. D, not marked, so we're going to leave that one out. Intentionally injured or killed a family pet. That never happened, she's saying. E, number 4, used or threatened to use against petitioner any weapons such as guns or knives. And F, number 5, since we skipped D, respondent Jeremy has a criminal history involving violence or the threat of violence. She's alleging in her petition under penalty of law that Jeremy has a criminal history that involves violence or threats of violence. By the way, don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join on as a member. Turn on that notification bell so you're notified whenever we go live. That's crazy because I don't think this might be number 2. This might be number 2, unless she's making it up. And number 3 is a lie also. Okay, so that's number 3. Threatened to harm petitioner or family members or individuals closely associated. Okay, number 3. Let's keep going. So, oh, and there's more. I'm sorry. G, that respondent had another order of protection issued against him or her previously from another jurisdiction. I think that's lie number 4. Unless I'm getting drunk on sweet tea, that's lie number 4. When did Jeremy, where does she have proof that Jeremy has, unless you guys know something I don't, did Jeremy ever get an order of protection against him previously from another jurisdiction? I don't think he did, because that would be like somebody else saying, Jeremy is stalking me. Please, I need an order of protection. He never did. Chat is saying no, 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 no. So this is line number 5. I'm already losing track. We're on page 2. We're on page 2 of the facts. This is page 3 of the petition. And the last one, H, she did not check, destroyed personal property, including but not limited to telephones or other communications equipment, clothing, or other items belonging to Lynette. So she's saying Jeremy did not do that. Now, give us, please, a description of the specific incidents of stalking or cyberstalking. For cyberstalking, please include a description of all evidence, contacts, and or threats made by respondent in voice messages, texts, emails, or other electronic communication on such and such dates, which again, she left blank, but I think she's going to talk about it in a moment. On such and such date, the following incidents of stalking occurred at the following locations. The locations may include, but are not limited to, a home, a school, or place of employment. And Lynette writes, this is the first time we get to see her handwriting, allegedly, unless she had someone else filling it out for her. Started February 2023 until currently. So she's alleging it is now September as we are reading this petition because it was filed September 7th, 7 months. Started February 2023 until currently September 2023. So 7 months. See attached TOJ judge. Maybe attached terms of something. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me what that says. He, Jeremy, makes videos daily, so the attacks are daily. Then he stands, then his stands, typo, then his stands make calls, and he makes calls to different agencies like Child Protective Services, Better Business Bureau, Internal Revenue Service, Social Security and Disability, United States Department of Agriculture, Town of Otter Creek Mayor, etc., joining and permitting. Oh, fans. I'm sorry. Thank you. His fans. I remember in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, we called them stands. So fans. Thank you. Let me know if I need to slow it down even further. Sorry, that's my moderator. Okay, fans. Town of Otter Creek, etc., joining and permitting health department. He says he's not stopping until my child is removed and tortoises are removed and we are kicked out of town. Okay, so that's her allegation. That's her allegation. Additional information. Respondent owns, has, and or is known to have guns or other weapons. Describe the weapons and where they may be located if known. And this is redacted because it has an address that she included. So we excluded that from the public eye. Section 4, injunction. Now the petitioner asks that this court enter a temporary injunction for protection against stalking that will be in place from now until the scheduled hearing in this matter, which will immediately restrain respondent from committing any acts of stalking and will provide any terms the court deems necessary for the protection of a victim of stalking, including any injunctions or directives to law enforcement agencies. Petitioner asked the court to enter, after a hearing has been held on this petition, a final judgment for protection against stalking, prohibiting respondent from committing any acts of stalking against petitioner, and this is left blank. So basically she's saying, this is between me and Jeremy. She's not even mentioning her daughter, because they would have been redacted here if she mentioned her daughter's name. So she's saying, it's just me. I am the victim of, according to this injunction, according to this petition, for injunction from stalking. She's saying Jeremy is stalking me, period, the end. Because the final judgment will come in against the respondent by the petitioner and any people listed here. And she's not listing John. She's not listing any other family members. She's not listing her daughter. She left it completely blank. She's saying, I just need a restraining order against Jeremy, please. Prohibiting respondent, this is A, prohibiting respondent from going to or within 500 feet of any place petitioner lives or to any specified place regularly frequented by petitioner and any named family members or individuals closely associated with petitioner. Otter Creek Town Hall. Okay. Prohibiting respondent from going to or within 500 feet of petitioner's place of employment or the school that petitioner attends, the address of petitioner's place of employment and or school is blank. Prohibiting respondent from contacting petitioner by telephone, mail, email, in writing, through another person or in any other manner. Ordering respondent that he or she shall not have in his or her care, custody, possession, or control any firearm or ammunition. So this is the temporary injunction that the judge has so far decided to order unconstitutionally, in my opinion, and I think in the opinion of many other people. Prohibiting respondent, Jeremy, from knowingly and intentionally going to or within 100 feet of Lynette's motor vehicle, whether or not that vehicle is occupied. And Lynette asked the court to enter any other terms it deems necessary to protect the petitioner from stalking by the respondent. She writes, I understand that by filing this petition, I'm asking the court to hold a hearing on this petition, that both the respondent and I will be notified of the hearing and that I must appear at the hearing. I understand that if either the respondent or I fail to appear at the final hearing, we will be bound by the terms of any injunction or order issued at that hearing. Notice how this is bold and capitalized. This is to make sure that she understands if she misses but one court appearance, it's going to be dismissed. If Jeremy misses even one court appearance, or their lawyers, it will be granted. So if Lynette doesn't show up, it will be dismissed. If Jeremy doesn't show up, it will be granted against him. So that's why always show up to your hearings, people, especially these ones. Very dangerous. I have read every statement made in this petition, and each statement is true and correct. I understand that the statements made in this petition are being made under the penalty of perjury. There we go. See, I was looking for that word, and it wasn't in the beginning. It wasn't in the beginning. Punishable is provided in section 837.02 Florida statutes, and that's probably the perjury statute. So, looky here. Everything that she said, and we already caught her in about 5 lies. We haven't even gotten to the meat of her petition yet, of her injunction. Because this thing is, how many pages is this? I already forgot. It's like 60 pages, I believe. Maybe 80. I forget. And it's got a lot of stuff. So this is just the first few pages. We got the notary here with the seal. This is her signature, dated September 7th, 2023. Levy County. She swears under the penalty of perjury everything that she said is true. And we already caught her in multiple lies, almost in the double digits. Now, here comes the handwritten part. And again, I'm going to defer to the chat because I am terrible at reading cursive. I am looking forward to your assistance, and I'm looking forward to continuing to dissect this petition. Jeremy's Ohio injunction was entered after a hearing on October 10th in Ohio. I think that's the Ohio one. Okay, so that one was true. Okay, so one of them, instead of 7 lies, we caught her in 6 lies. That's fine. We'll take the 6. Your Honor, after further watching these dark videos, I had to add this to you. The hate, the total hate coming, misspelling coming from this man towards me is terrifying. I am literally afraid. Literally, she's not just afraid. She is literally afraid. This man is going to kill me to get my child. So Jeremy wants her daughter in his possession so that he can raise her in his home. He's going to allegedly, according to her, kill her and adopt his daughter. I can't explain what I felt listening to him on these videos. I thought his regular videos were bad, but they don't compare. Jeremy is, and help me out here, inciting, misspelling inciting, okay. Jeremy is inciting so much hate towards me to his fans. And now my baby's family, that I'm afraid of them as well, because these fans will do anything to look good to him or to please him. My hand is shaking writing this. Please help me. Signed, Lynette Preston. Now, her hand is shaking so bad that her cursive is impeccable. It's just my inability to read cursive. Your Honor, she continues, things were brought to my attention tonight that are very serious. Jeremy Hales has a subscriber video section you have to pay for. What a crime that you have a members only video on your channel. What a heinous crime. And there in those videos, so sounds like she paid for them. So hey, Jeremy, you made money off this woman. I can tell you that. That's all but confirmed in her own words. To pay for, and there in those videos, he clearly is talking with my adopted daughter. My adopted daughter's biological grandmother. So in those videos, he clearly is talking with my adopted daughter's biological grandmother. And now the birth mother, soon, and the lies he's told them to get them more riled up after seeing the lies he's pestering about me, posting about me and my daughter and my ex-husband. So it is now a crime, according to her, and he should be forbidden from talking to people related to her, which she already admitted to, by the way, up here. Remember, one of the questions was, do you feel you're threatened he's threatened to harm a petitioner or family members or individuals closely associated? So she's alleging that Jeremy threatened to harm not only Lynette, but her family members. And yet here, the opportunity where she has to say what he has done, oh, he's talking to them. He needs to stop talking to them and lying to them. What? No. By the way, welcome to Jeremy. Jeremy is in the chat. I'm trying to find his message. Jeremy, if you're here, I know the chat is really slowed down just so that people can message. I'll try and catch your messages, but Jeremy's in the chat. We got that umbrella guy in the chat. This is crazy stuff, man. I know you've seen it because this is about you, but up until now you have not been able to share it. So here we are. That's what I'm here for, but baby, like this is what I'm here for, buddy. He said, Jeremy said, this Lynette continues, that he's doxing. No. He's doing. He said, so Jeremy said that he's doing this to me to cause me to be so stressed out that I will give up my land and dose something redacted to a family that tried to abort her twice, and the mother was on every drug and alcohol till her birth, and her mother, the so-called grandmother, I mean, I'm sorry, do you guys make sense of this? Lose her daughter. Oh, lose her daughter. Oh, and lose daughter's name to a family that tried to abort her twice, and the mother was on every drug and alcohol. I see. She's talking about the biological mother, was on every drug and alcohol till her birth, and her mother, the so-called grandmother, gave her daughter drugs and alcohol at 37 weeks pregnant. My daughter has glutaric acidosis type 1, and it's a life-threatening metabolic disorder. The grandmother or biological mother were not allowed, misspelled, to be with baby alone after birth because CPS, Child Protective Services, Department of Homeland Security is involved? Department of Homeland Security founded founded a child abuse charge against redacted child's name due to baby being born with while addicted. The grandmother never took the baby's medical issues seriously and brought the siblings over while all the while knowing it could kill her. We cut her off a long time. Like now she's talking about the family. She's not even talking about Jeremy anymore. She's explaining why. Department of Human Services. Okay, I was like, Department of Homeland Security is involved. Department of Human Services. Thank you, chat. Because I was getting confused. Like, is this a national security order? Is this like terroristic acts being committed in her home? Like, what is going on? What is this Lynette doing? Okay. So more, I lost count of the lies because you guys know more about this than I do. I'm just filling you all in. All the while knowing it could kill her. We cut her off a long time ago for her drunken texts and phone calls to me. So why don't you take a protective order against this woman? Why are you going after Jeremy? This petition should not. Okay, now she's finally coming back. And this is the person. Jeremy Hales is trying to get to my child away from me for no reason at all. He hasn't done anything. He's just been talking about it. So we need, now she's trying to take away Jeremy's First Amendment right to speak and using the judge to do so. It raises a lot of questions because the judge is going along with it and I don't like it. My baby is so healthy because we have given up everything. Our home fully remodeled in redacted to move here to avoid COVID and any other illnesses she could and would catch had we not given it all up for redacted. She's alive because I take such good care of her. Jeremy is everything in her life. Her home, her adoption story, her family connection, everything. Our tortoises, because our tortoise rescue is for her, but he's destroying it. Hold on a second. Her tortoise rescue is for her. I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Ruining. Thank you. Jeremy is ruining everything. Jeremy is ruining everything in her life, her home of her adopted story, her family connection, everything. Our tortoise rescue is for her. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I believe the whole, there was a theory that her condition that she has and the tortoise rescue, because lizards actually carry diseases, they can be carriers for diseases that our human bodies are not immune to. I remember somebody talking about this. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it correct that the turtles can't actually harm the child? Because tortoises carry salmonella, right? Salmonella. Now, I mean, anybody can get salmonella, but somebody who has like an immunity disorder, maybe like her daughter, for example, to us, we get salmonella. It's like, you're sick for a couple of days and you're fine on day number 3. Her daughter gets salmonella and she could die if she doesn't receive medical treatment right away. Now she's like 2 hours away from the closest treatment center. So they actually, by taking her away from that location where there was hospitals and everything, they brought her into danger. She's saying she takes such good care of her daughter, but by her own admission, she's potentially placing her in harm's way. Am I missing something? I thought that was the whole thing. All right, let's get back into it. Turtles commonly carry bacteria called salmonella in their outer skin and shell surfaces. There you go. Not a good conducive environment to a child that is prone to diseases. Please, Your Honor, please grant me, like, listen to this language rather than being like, I need your help. It's a please for the love of God. Please, Your Honor, please grant me the injunction so I can get a permanent one to protect my child. So wait a second. This is not even for her anymore. This is to protect her daughter. She's all over the place, this Lynette person. I can prove everything in court, which we haven't had a chance to do yet. So I don't fault her for it. They got a terrible judge and now they're dealing with the fallout. So this part is not her fault. The judge is the judge is the judge. You don't get to choose the judge. Now we're trying to choose the judge. I say we, like, metaphorically, because I'm not a lawyer on this case, but I feel so invested I might as well be. I am emotionally drained, but I'll keep fighting him if I have to. But sir or ma'am, no one deserves to have to live through all of this. Please, he is ruining my entire life. All I want is to make my baby's life a happy one. Sincerely, Lynette Preston. Postscriptum, P.S. Mr. Jeremy Hales and Redacted are putting, scratched out, here's another word, hemazils, something. So Jeremy Hales and maybe George, I imagine, are putting themselves. See, I just read it on the second time. Are putting themselves into a legal adoption and they're trying to destroy it. Jeremy Hales and Redacted are putting themselves into a legal adoption and they're trying to destroy it. What does that even mean? Can somebody please decipher this in the chat? What does this mean? Mr. Jeremy Hales and Redacted are putting themselves into a legal adoption and they're trying to destroy it. They're putting themselves into, so they're like inserting themselves into it and they're trying to destroy it. I don't know. I don't understand. Please, sir, please stop this man and his paramour. Yeah, probably. So, okay, probably paramour from destroying the only beautiful thing in my world right now. Thank you. So now she's using her daughter as a conduit to get the judge to cooperate. Anybody using their children for any purpose, by the way, let me just say this. Anybody who uses their children nefariously to get what they want, you're a fucking asshole. I'm not calling you that, Lynette. I'm just saying, generally speaking, to something tonight, misspelled. Tonight, he announced he's paying these people's legal fees to try and overturn the adoption. This is abuse, harassment, cyber, and stalking. Please help us. Here's another one. Your Honor, after further watching these dark videos, I had to add this to you. So she's like addending herself. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, turn on that notification bell, and if you're so inclined, join on as a member. We'd love to have you. We love good people, and you guys are good people. The hate, the total hate coming from this. Wait a second. Is this a repeat? I feel like I read this before. Coming. Is this the same one? Jeremy, yeah, this is a repeat. So this is not an accident, folks. This is the original that I have with the redactions. After further watching these dark videos, and then again, she included another copy to make it look thicker. Your Honor, after further watching these dark videos, she added another copy of it. Okay. This lady, this is an attachment. We keep going. There's so much more. This lady is on his subscribe site with dark videos of hate. Redacted. Always keep your wits sharp. Keep your heart open and always keep your gun loaded. Worked here, joined Facebook or whatever. Here, see blanks about info. Looks like it's a screenshot of a Facebook page. Another one. We're not friends on Facebook. This is the message from that person, I suppose, or allegedly. You are nothing but a piece of garbage and blame everyone else for your crap and lies. I talked to Redacted's real grandmother and gave her phone numbers to call to take her away from you. Two rotten people and give her a real happy life. You want to know something else? I called welfare on you along with animal control, and so has so many other people. And we won't stop till y'all are in jail and blank is taken away. This is rough. Okay, this is rough. Getting a message like that, no matter who you are, this is rough. I'm chuckling because this is really cruel. But I mean, maybe deserved. I don't know. You be the judge. You leave Jeremy and George's life alone. See, and that leads me to believe like she's the catalyst, like she's the one crying wolf. But people who just are hateful people, just for the sake of hate, they're gonna stop at exclamation mark, right? And I hope we won't stop until you're in jail and your child is taken away from you. But they go on. You leave Jeremy and George's life alone. There's truth in that. I'm certain of it. You're going down one way or another. I mean, this is not just a threat. This is literally like, stop harassing them. Stop harassing them. You're going down one way or another, and blank's going home to her real granny, not your rotten piece of crap. Contact me back. I dare you. Harassed and abused. Now, this is an email. Stalked, cyber stalked, and bullied by Jeremy Hales and Redacted. Michelle Preston, this is the email Redacted on the day before she went to go get her petition to Redacted. Dear Judge, I am writing this from my own email to my own email. Wait, hold on. What? Oh, she didn't even email this. Oh, I see. Dear Judge, I'm writing this from my own email to my own email so that I can print it for you. Okay, so she never sent it. She just, so this is a printout. Okay. My name is Lynette M. Preston, but I go by Michelle. So Michelle is one of her middle names that she used, and she goes by Michelle. So Lynette is not even the name that she prefers to go by. So her friends call her Michelle. I have been stalked, harassed, cyber stalked, libeled, misspelled stalked, misspelled libeled, bullied, tortured. Do you know what torturing is, lady? Tormented, gaslit, abused in ways that other human beings probably can't understand by Mr. Jeremy Hales and his partner, Redacted. The abuse started in approximately February, but the videos started March or May. So, hold on. The abuse started in February, but the videos started in March or May. That is a huge gap. That is like a 2-month gap there, lady. He has made a video almost every day since then. So March or May, I mean, that is literally the difference, 60 videos differences if you're saying it's every day. That's huge. That's enormous. Since then, that included me in some way. Number one, Jeremy Hales has threatened to stand across the street from my residence with his family, pointing AK-47s at my home. So if this happened, why did you not include it in the text of the original petition where you hand wrote why you're fearful for your life? Because everything she wrote in that petition, by the way, was nothing more than just he needs to stop speaking to people I know. That's all he's talking to people and I don't like it. But now it's like, oh, wait a minute, there's so much more. And it's like, I don't know. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. People who tell the truth will usually lead with the most heinous stuff. Pointing a gun at a residence is a heinous act. I think not just in my book, but in many people's books. And pointing a gun at her home would not be the first thing you write in your petition. Like, I'm fearful for my life, number one, because Jeremy has threatened to stand across the street from a residence and pointing guns at my home. If that's the case, why is it buried in the middle and not front and center? I don't believe that. That seems very fishy to me. Number two, he has threatened to point a cannon. So not only guns, now he's got a cannon. What is this, a civil war? What the fuck? That he owns at my home. Okay. We're going back to 1853, y'all. Trench warfare, who cares? Let's go back to 1853. He has threatened to dig a hole and put me in a video. All of these have video proof. He has threatened to dig a hole and put me in it. in a video. All of these have video proof. Okay, so he's threatened to dig a hole and put her in it. She's alleging. Number 4, Jeremy has said that the town people of Otter Creek were going to lynch me. He said that on video. Number 5, Jeremy said on videos for his fans to call Child Protective Services and have my daughter removed from my home for no reason. He is alleging to the fans that I beat and abused my child that I adopted and waited 35 years for. The Department of Children and Families has been at my home 7 times, but there has been hundreds of phone calls to CPS because of Jeremy Hales admitting to calling himself, admitting that blank called, admitting that his employee by the name of blank called, and asking his fan base to call on me to get my baby removed. He has alleged to the fans that I make her poop in a bucket. We have a beautiful RV on our property. We're building a home. We have a bathroom for the baby, and we have a potty chair for the baby. She's 4 years old, as I understand. She's not a baby. I don't know why she keeps referring to her as a baby. She is, at that point, she's beyond toddler. What do you call, sorry, chat, I'm a guy. I don't know sizes of children and ages of children. I'm a dude. We don't understand. A 4-year-old, how do you refer to them? The women in the chat. It's not a toddler. It's, at that point, they become a what, right? Because it goes from like an infant to a baby to a toddler. Is it toddler? Okay, it is toddler. Okay, so I was half right. Child. Well, child is too generic. Young kid, little kid, toddler. Okay, so preschooler. But I mean, you wouldn't use it in a sentence. My preschooler. That seems weird. My toddler. But she keeps saying my baby. Fine, whatever. She is not even potty trained. Oh, because she's disabled. Okay, so she's not potty trained. She's disabled. We can't judge. Fine. Let's take her at her word, at least here, because come on, there's a child involved. We got to protect children, you all. And I think that's what Jeremy's trying to do, but she is refusing to cooperate. She says that she's doing everything she can in the best interest of the child, which now I'm having serious doubts about. With a life-threatening metabolic disorder. So why did you take her away from civilization and put her in the middle of nowhere? CPS has cleared us on, and with turtles who carry salmonella. Child Protective Services has cleared us on all reports to them. I'll provide the worker's name on a separate paper. Number 6, contact was made by Jeremy Hales to Winn-Dixie in Chiefland, Florida, where we got our produce from, donated for the last 8 months. He went into the Winn-Dixie and told them that we were throwing the garbage, the boxes that we got the produce from, all over the street in Otter Creek called Dead Dog Road. That's a hell of a name for a road. I mean, I'm not judging, but I've never seen a road called Dead Dog. It's like the town is so small. One time there was an animal, a dog that died in this area before the road was named, and everybody was like, hey, so how do I get to such and such place? Well, you just pass the dead dog and it becomes Dead Dog Road. Not judging, just a little weird, that's all. He also claimed to Winn-Dixie that we were feeding the garbage leaf lettuce, the garbage fruit that we were giving to homeless people to make them work for us at our tortoise rescue. That devastated our tortoise rescue. It devastated us financially. It destroyed the contract that we had with Winn-Dixie and ourselves, which financially hurt me and has hurt me in other ways because he's telling fans to report me to every agency that you could possibly report someone to. I have been turned into the number 1 USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, misappropriating large amounts of money that have been donated to me on building our house, on buying drugs, alcohol, and other things. Number 2, Fish and Game, so wildlife, for abusing, starving, boiling, and killing my tortoises on my rescue, redacted. From Fish and Game came to my home. So that's probably a name. Came to my home. He looked at my rescue and gave me a warning. So she did get a warning. She admits to it. For the size of the pools, some water in the bowls were green. So she hasn't replaced the water in the bowls for these poor tortoises, and they were green. You know how long it takes for water to turn green? I mean, that's moss. That's basically moss growing in the water. That's disgusting. So that even adds further to the whole theory that this young girl needs to be moved from that area. at the very least. And again, I'm not saying take her away from Michelle, Lynette, whatever. I'm saying she needs a healthier place because of her condition, just to be on the safe side. Because they're drinking from green water, algae, moss. There's algae growing. I mean, that's disturbing. So the water bowls where the tortoises are drinking out of were green at the time because my ex-husband was just that week in the hospital having knee surgery and being sepsis. So he had sepsis. He was being septic. That's heavy. If this is true, that's really heavy. You can die from sepsis within a week if she's telling the truth. Again, I'm just reading. Don't shoot the messenger. You guys decide what is truth and what is not, based on the information that you have. Mr. Holmes realized that was going on and gave us 90 days. That's probably the Mr. Hales. No. Oh, Mr. Holmes was the DHS guy. Realized what was going on because now it's just the last name. We don't have a full name. So that's why it's not redacted. Realized what was going on and gave us 90 days to fix what we needed to. And in that time, Mr. Hales has made continual calls saying that they're not doing their job and there's more things happening at our rescue. More tortoises are being killed, and also encouraging his fan base by lying to them and telling them that the turtles in our turtle pond are boiling to death in the sun and that we're not feeding anyone, that everyone is dying, and telling them to come on my property to release the tortoises and turtles into the wild. And it is proofed on a video. He has called the Better Business Bureau, Social Security Disability, IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, Children and Families, as I've stated above, Otter Creek Town Hall, Levy County Zoning and Health Department. All these agencies have been contacted and lied to by Mr. Hales about me, Lynette Preston, and my ex-husband, John Cook. No. I have no idea what that means, but it's in there. Mr. Hales, number 7. Mr. Hales for months was telling his fan base of $650,000 people, 650,000 people. I don't know why there's a dollar sign. People that I was throwing garbage, including infant, newborn baby diapers. My daughter is finally she used the right word. My daughter is a toddler. Baby diapers. My daughter is a toddler on Dead Dog Road, and that they should run me out of town for being a pig and dirtying up their town. I don't live there, so I can't confirm or deny if this is true. Number 8, Mr. Hales has came by my property and screamed and yelled and provoked us to come outside so that he can video us, and he edits out all the bad things that he says and only shows to his fan base publicly, not privately, publicly, our reactions or John's reaction to what he's doing to us. So she's calling Jeremy the provocateur. Mr. Hales has encouraged his Hales, misspelled again. Mr. Hales has encouraged his followers to drive by and film our property continually day in and day out. And again, I fail to see the problem if you are a danger to society, Lynette, Michelle. And when he's in town, that is exactly what happens. People follow him here, and then they come to my property and they film 24 hours a day. Now, okay, now this I take a little bit of umbrage with, if this is true, because if you are violating certain laws and you are creating an unsafe environment for people, you should, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't understand. The one thing I really don't understand here is she has a very easy solution. Her easiest way to fight back, by the way, is to start her own channel promoting her tortoises and saying, look at these beautiful, lovely, well-fed, clean water. My daughter is happy. Probably don't show your kid on camera. Not a good idea. But you can show the tortoises, the animals, the property, walk around with a phone and be like, look at these beautiful tortoises and our beautiful property. Everything that Jeremy is saying is a lie. And you know what's going to happen, Lynette? Your channel is going to blow up. People are going to be up in arms and they may start taking your side. But my suspicion is that's not true. You are living in a probably, hazardous area, and you do have all these issues with your property. They're not rising to the level of a criminal violation. or an EPA violation. But it is rising to the level of really bothering at least the neighbors. So again, there's such a simple solution. I think her channel would explode overnight if she walked around showing the tortoises and everybody would be like, Jeremy Hales is a lying sack of shit, you know? But it's never going to happen because it's the whole pot calling the kettle black. She's saying Jeremy is stalking me, where the reality is she's living in horrendous conditions. She's putting her daughter through horrendous conditions. And now she's trying to get Jeremy to stop calling it out because it's kind of like Judge DeThomasis. Stop it. You're making me look bad. It's that whole argument all over again. Oi. Number 10. Mr. Hales has shown photographs, which I will include in the packet, of my baby's diapers on her body, off of a picture he got from a friend of mine, and blew up her private area and posted that on the internet of my child. Okay. What? That is a disgusting allegation. First of all, I don't believe a word of it, number one. Number two, if this happened, Jeremy would be in federal custody for, I don't want to say the word on YouTube, CP. We're going to call it CP. You know what I'm talking about. Because YouTube doesn't like this stuff and they censor you. CP. He would be in federal custody for CP. There is no way that number 10 happened. There is no way. Mr. Hales has abused me, belittled me, humiliated me, yelled at me. I'm starting to think this is deserved. I'm sorry. In a town meeting, a few town meetings, and his friend, Madame Mayor Redacted, who he got put into that seat, allowed him to berate me, to humiliate me, to lie about me in front of the whole town. He told the town that we were shooting guns at our neighbors, that we were a danger to our neighbors, that we were throwing garbage all over the roads of Otter Creek and dirtying up their town, that we should be thrown out of our home immediately, that the town needed to run me out of town. It's on proof on a video, which I can provide in a hearing. Oh. Okay. Number 12. Mr. Hales has now had contact with my child's birth family, not a crime. He lied to them, oh well, and told them that I was beating and abusing this child, starting a rift and a divide that will now never be repaired and ruining a beautiful adoption story for my child. It's ruined. It's gone. There will be no happy adoption story for my child to hear. It will be a story written and in hate and hurt and pain and lies and deception, blah, 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 blah. Unfair to my child, this harassment. I'm sorry. Up until this point, I was like, wow, this woman is really like having issues with Jeremy. Like this is some serious stuff. But after I read number 10, this tainted everything that she's writing, because I don't believe a freaking word she writes now. I don't believe a single word. All it takes is one, folks. One big lie, and it destroys all your credibility. All your credibility. It just disintegrates into nothing. I feel nothing. Up until this point, I kind of empathize with her a little bit. Like, she's going through so much pain. What a poor woman. Da, da, da. Now I feel nothing. I feel completely blank because of her lie. Number 10 killed her entire argument. Mr. Hale and blank do a live every Sunday. And on every one of those shows that they do their public internet YouTube channel, they discredited us, they humiliate us, they abuse us. Now it's just starting to repeat. And they tell us they have documents they gave out on my phone number, my email address, told fans that they needed to call me and disturb me by telling them, oh, please don't call them and disturb them. That's what they do when they want someone to do that, and well known that this is what they're saying and this is what they're asking their fans to do, and this is that they're making these fans hate us, and they're making these fans the most horrible things to us, say the most horrible things to us as they call me at all hours of the day and night. They call me I'm gonna try her voice. You ready? Because I've never heard her yet, so this may not be accurate. But these fans, they say the most horrible things to us. They call me at all hours of the day and the night, and they burp and they fart and they call me a whore. I'm sorry. That's classic. They burp and they fart and they call me a whore. Do I have to talk like this? I don't know. I can't. I don't want to make fun of her. More scratchy. Not even close. Hashtag buckle up. Wow. They call me filthy names. They tell me to stop beating my child, to give my baby back, that I'm a piece of disgusting crap. Was worse. So she doesn't like evidence. She doesn't like proof. She doesn't like the fact that she's being called out. Sounds like anybody we know? Judge DeThomasis? Anyone? Anyone? Judge DeThomasis? Anyone? Was worse words than I've ever sent some of the messages to you. I printed them for you. If this is not harassment and stalking and bullying, then the definition of it is wrong. Okay. Mr. Hales, number 14 now. It's a going and growing list. Number 14, Mr. Hales has made it very clear on his Facebook and his YouTube to the fans that he's never going to stop until they run me off my property. He says that he said he's purchasing the mineral rights and tree rights to my property so that he can run me off of my own property. Jeremy has made it number 15. Jeremy has made it very clear that he's not going to stop until my baby, until she might be dictating this, until my baby is removed. So she didn't even proofread it before she sent it to herself to print it off to the judge. And tell my baby until my baby is removed from my care, even though I'm not abusing my child is safe and happy and doing fine with me, and her metabolic disorder and her illnesses, which Mr. Hales tells his fan base she doesn't have, that it is just a little illness that is maintained by diet. He said that I'm a liar and calls me a lie-net. That is a very disturbing way to describe a sick child, by the way. Again, just an observation. Just an observation. A little illness? A little illness. Okay. This one I have to call her out on. A little illness, she says. Previously, she said, and I butchered the name of it. Previously, she said, my daughter has the glutaric acidosis type 1. It is a life-threatening metabolic disorder. These are her words in her allegedly writing. She filed this, signing it as Lynette Preston. Life-threatening metabolic disorder. Okay? Now compare that with just a little illness and maintained by diet. I'm starting to see why you all don't like this woman. Not only can she not keep her story straight, again, it's one thing to be a lying sack of shit, okay? It's one thing to be a lying sack of shit. It is completely different when you don't take your child's disease seriously, or you take it seriously when it helps you and you don't take it seriously when it doesn't help you. Again, you're cherry picking. Remind you of anyone? I cherry pick. Judge DeThomasis, they have a lot in common. I'm starting to notice they have a lot in common. Jeremy has made it very clear that he's not going to stop. Did I misread number 15? People are saying I need to. She says that Jeremy has said that. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just so appalled by all of this. Mr. Hale tells his fan base he doesn't have that. It is just a little illness that is maintained by diet. That he's a liar. And okay, all right. I got a little too. Because like see what happens. What just happened? I impugned accidentally. This was not intentional. I impugned a lie to her because of her consistency in not telling the truth. I didn't mean to do that. But people are saying it's not life-threatening. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. So let's keep going. Number 16. Mr. Hales has said so many horrific things about us, so many bad things about us to public twice that we cannot post to sell anything and everything, anything to do, anything on our own property, because every time we try, our posts are met with negativity and the most nasty comments that could possibly be said about us. Again, I'm starting to not feel sorry for you, woman. I'm sorry. Because of his lies, he has so many people watching his channel. You think they're just siding with him because they're fans? No, because they probably see the truth and you don't like it. I don't know. His abuse, his harassment. I'm afraid to leave my home with my child. We no longer walk on our road. We no longer go for stroller walks. We no longer let her ride her Mack truck on the road because we fear for our lives. Her Mack truck on the road? What if happens if she gets hit by a car? Okay. I don't know what's going to happen to us anymore with what he has said and told people to do to us and what he said the town is going to do to us. It terrifies me. I cannot live my life normally anymore. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Mr. Hales is using his ability. Mr. Hales is using his ability to reach out to my family members, my daughters, who I have a conflict with, and not because I've done anything to my children, but because they have problems of their own. And he has stated lies about me via them. He has stated that I'm abusing my grandchildren, that we're doing drugs, alcohol, selling drugs. He accused us of SAing my little girl. I thought that's what she did to him. Again, pot calling the kettle black. But anyway, this, Your Honor, has to stop. I'm begging for an injunction to stop this man and leave me alone. We went to the sheriff. Their definition of stalking, cyber stalking, bullying, and harassment, even though it's there in black and white paper, is very different than the law. Please, Your Honor, I'm begging you. I've probably left out so many other things, but I don't really have the mindset to keep thinking about all the things that he's saying and doing to me. It's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. Please, Your Honor, take what you see here. The fact that he's calling all these agencies and having others to do it, the fact that he is, I forgot, he's went to that his friend's town hall now, blank and blank, redacted and redacted, are their best friends. He has asked the mayor to do something to remove my tortoises from my care in Otter Creek, even though when she took office, there was nothing on the ordinances about having a tortoise rescue in Otter Creek town. Nothing but he's encouraging her to do that. And she will, I can't understand what this woman is saying or trying to say. She will to please him. He is suing our town and made sure that she got voted in. And then he's using her to get everything he needs from the town of Otter Creek. They all are. Who is they? They all of who? They all are. Is the whole town against you? You know, I'm starting to notice a theme here. Please help me. Please give me the injunction to protect myself and my daughter. I don't want one of us to be dead. And then have everyone say, oh, we should have given the order. Please help me protect my child. Please help me protect her childhood and our home. Please, we're both disabled. John Cook and I, the baby is disabled. All we want is to build our house and live our life in peace without this menace making money and financial gain off these videos. Oh, wait a second. This sounds like Judge DeThomasis. Remember, he was taking umbrage with the fact that Jeremy's way of living, which, by the way, who gives a shit how you make a living? They call themselves fun employed. A lot of people rely on YouTube as their primary source of income. Did you know that? Where's the problem? They're treasure hunters. They make videos. And it looks like you have harassed them to the point where they're trying to call you out. And now that you're using that against them, where's the problem? But DeThomasis is taking umbrage with this financial gain of these videos that Jeremy is doing. And now Judge DeThomasis is like, you need to stop making videos. Now you're making money off of me, and I don't like it either. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. He's doing, and it's not just me, as you've read, hopefully in the other statements I've given you, he's doing this to multiple people in Otter Creek, which again, so far we have no evidence of that. And his financial gain has moved up at least by half. How do you know that? Again, speculation, objection, speculative. Bad videos, hurtful videos make great money, great content, makes great money on YouTube and Facebook. I'm begging you to help me, or Your Honor, I cannot take it anymore. I cannot take anymore. I don't deserve it. We've done nothing to him ever. I ran for a seat on the board, and he needed to make sure that I would never get it so he could do what he was doing in Otter Creek. Well, it's a democratic process, and you ran for it and you lost. That means the people voted. So sit down and shut up. Like, I don't get it. If you didn't get the seat, you didn't get the seat. Who cares? Please help me stop this so that I can raise my daughter, build my house, love my tortoises, and go on with my life. Please, I'm begging you, Your Honor, please. Thank you for your time, and God bless. Lynette Michelle Preston. A word of support for Lynette Preston and John Cook. It says Angela G. redacted. We redacted the last name. The email, by the way, I just want to check the emails. This one starts S something. This is IT something at Gmail. So this is Michelle Preston emailing herself to another email, okay? S and IT. So IT is on here. That's probably the same email. And this is RE. So this is a different email, allegedly. We don't know if it's another person or if this might be Lynette to herself. Again, we have no... A word of support for Lynette Preston and John Cook. Interesting that they didn't use... She said, I go by Michelle. So this is not a close person, right? Because they use the name Lynette. Your Honor, I'm writing to you because I'm very worried about Lynette and John Cook. Jeremy Hales uses his YouTube channel. A lot of words are capitalized. So at least it appears to be another person unless she completely changed the way that she types. Again, just an observation. We don't know anything yet. I'm writing to you because I'm very worried about Lynette and John Cook. Jeremy Hales uses his YouTube channel, What the Hales, to cyberbully Michelle and John. Now she changed the name from Lynette to Michelle. Mr. Hales has also instigated several confrontations with Mr. Cook. Almost every video is him ranting about Lynette, whom he calls Lynette. He says many nasty things about her and says things that are not true. Ms. Preston, typo, has been harassed telephonically, typo, by What the Hales fans because Mr. Hales doxed her, misspelled. Please take the time to look at his YouTube channel and pay special attention to his lives. They are particularly nasty. Mr. Hales went to length of going to the grocery store and got them to stop donating their produce to Lynette. Now she goes back to calling them Lynette because I think it's an Angela, right? It's a female, allegedly. She used this produce to feed her turtles. He lied and told them she was feeding it to humans. He, Jeremy, has called Child Protective Services on her. He has called Fish and Game on her. Fish and Game. This is exactly what Lynette called Fish and Game. Isn't it Fish and Wildlife, by the way, folks? Help me out here because I'm not from Florida. Anybody from Florida here? I'm wondering if it's literally just somebody regurgitating everything that Lynette is saying. I don't know. It just seems a little fishy. Is it Fish and Game? I thought it was Fish and Wildlife. At least here we call it Fish and Wildlife. Why are both Angela and Lynette, unless they're the same person, Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Why are they calling it Fish and Game? Is it like an Otter Creek thing? People are saying it should be Fish and Wildlife. Fish and Wildlife Commission. Okay. Let's keep going. Oh, wait a second. I have to show you guys this. So I have been dating a girl for about, what, a month and a half now? And she finally decided to make it public. Just to take a little break for just a second from the madness. That's it. The cat is out of the cage. I didn't know she was gonna do this during my live. Oh man. It's she goes by Remy Legal on sorry, I'm too red and embarrassed right now. Okay. All right. Get it together, Larry. Chandler Remington is her channel name, by the way. Well, now that the news is out, I mean, might as well, right? Go and subscribe to her channel too. She does a lot of cool videos. She calls herself a paralegal, anti-feminist, and hashtag men too. God, I can't stop smiling. My cheeks are like stop, relax, cheeks. Paralegal, anti-feminist, hashtag men too. I love you, baby. Mwah. We finally decided to let it out, I guess. We've been talking about it, and I know she's been making teasers, and I thought she was going to keep teasing you guys. But no, that's it. Secret's out. The cat is out of the bag. I think that's the phrase. I couldn't think. My brain just stopped working for a second. The cat is out of the bag. What did I say? The dog is out of the cage? Like, what the hell is that, Larry? That's not even an idiom. You moron, you monkey. The cat is out of the bag. The feather is back in the quill. Right, Mark Feather? Anyway, that's cool. What did she write? 11 minutes ago. That's why I got, I see. 11 minutes ago. Okay. All right. That makes sense. Because I got a notification. I'm like, what the hell is why is my X blowing up? Go follow her. She is at Remy Legal, REMY_LEGAL on X. And she is also at REMY_legal on YouTube. That's easy to remember. I'm just going to pin that real quick. Remy Legal. Now that the cat is out of the bag, you moron. That's what you were trying to say. All right, let's get back to our main event. That was a very pleasant surprise. I was not expecting that. Okay. Let's get back to our main event, which is the redacted. Make sure I got the redacted. Yes. Petition. Okay, so this is the petition. Back to the petition. He has called CPS on her. He has called, so this is back to Angela. He has called Fish and Game on her. There are other agencies as well that he contacted. He is also in contact with her extended family to get dirt on her, which he then, Jeremy, puts in his videos. He most recently has made contact with Lynette's adopted daughter's birth family and has them believing Lynette is abusing her and has gotten them all worked up. He is doing anything and everything he can think of to destroy her. Mr. Hales has also been instigating confrontations with John Cook. This has been typo, chronicled on his YouTube channel. Please see those videos. Ms. Preston and Mr. Cook have been under constant attack by Jeremy Hales for at least a year now. Please help her. JH stalking. This is from a Heather M email at iCloud to the same IT email that seems to be Lynette's or Michelle's. What do I call her now? I think it's Michelle, right? Michelle is her. She says, I go by Michelle. So let's call her what she wants to be called. I have watched What the Hales for many years, but since he moved down to Florida, it has been nothing but picking on neighbors and getting in fights with them when they just want to live their everyday lives. He thinks that since he moved down there, he can control the people by throwing money around. Lynette and John have not done anything to poke at the situation to make things get to where they are today. Jeremy said in his YouTube that he sees this as his own Jerry Springer show, but he is the instigator to everything that has happened to these two. They aren't the only ones in the town that have gotten beaten and shaken down from this bully. I have spoken to both Lynette and John about what happened, and I felt in my heart, that they were telling the truth. So I paid for a membership. That's probably the source. Remember, Michelle Lynette said that she watched the private videos on the membership channel that may have come through this Heather person. I paid for a membership to What the Hales and let them watch on my channel, on my Chanel. So misspelled channel, Chanel. So they would know of the attacks on them and what more they're facing. Jeremy said that he's not going to stop till blank is safe, probably the daughter, but there is no abuse or anything that he can prove. That is a very interesting statement. There is no abuse or anything that he can prove. So is there stuff going on that Michelle is doing that Jeremy can't prove yet? Question mark, question mark. That gets me wondering. That is a very strange way to say that phrase. Jeremy said he's not going to stop till blank is safe, but there's no abuse or anything that Jeremy can prove. Is there something going on under the surface? I don't know. That's a very suspicious way to phrase things. Sometimes people give themselves away on complete accident. They have had called cops many times, and that his followers misspelled, do the same to make their lives a living hell. To this day, they are trying to run them out of town just so they can buy their land, and they will stop at nothing to get it done. So now Jeremy is trying to buy Lynette's land. Interesting. In support of Lynette Michelle Preston, MH newsletters. So this is somebody who has a newsletter going on. I don't know what MH stands for. Maybe somebody can help. Do you know what MH newsletters is? Who are they? My name is M redacted. I live in Bronson, a few miles from Otter Creek, and used to go fishing in Otter Creek often. However, that ended when a YouTuber bought some property there, and I was uncomfortable. Oh, mole hole. Okay, if it's a name, I'm not going to repeat it. I thought you guys were being serious. Mental health newsletters? Well, let's find out. And I was uncomfortable with the idea of potentially being filmed and put on YouTube without my permission or desire. Due to beginning to feel like I was being watched and followed, I stopped going to Otter Creek to fish, but continued to follow the YouTuber's channel, concerned about what would happen to the town's residents if the YouTuber's goals were achieved. Now, when the issue of the locks on the fire hydrants was introduced by Mr. Hales, the YouTuber, I did a bit of basic research and found Mr. Hales to be in error. When the issue of the locks on the, so there was an issue with fire hydrants at some point, was introduced by Mr. Hales, Jeremy B. Hales, the YouTuber. I did a bit of basic research and found Mr. Hales to be in error. Though through trying to correct that, I met Lynette Preston, who had also reached the same conclusion. So Michelle is now an expert on fire hydrants. Is she a firefighter? Is she a member of the fire department? Okay. She also reached the same conclusion, since fires in Otter Creek are handled by Chiefland's fire department, had spoken to the Chiefland fire chief, who told her that he was aware of the locks and didn't have a problem with them. So they're not experts, because the fire chief was like, butt out, doesn't matter. After Lynette, I guess, brought that up to the town hall meeting, refuting Mr. Hales' storyline, he became more and more angry and cruel toward her, because it seems like she's lying about him or making up stories about him. Okay, makes sense. Making false accusations against her on his YouTube channel, having his followers make false reports against her turtle and tortoise rescue, calling CPS, Child Protective Services, with false statements in an attempt to get her daughter blank redacted taken from her, contacting the Internal Revenue Service, trying to get her rescue shut down, and so much more. Every single day, he puts up a video. Every single day, he puts up a video that includes some slurs and lies against her, even when the video isn't related to Otter Creek at all. Every single day. This isn't just about YouTube videos. Jeremy Hales instructs his followers to make false reports to every agency they can think of, even having her swatted once. Do we have confirmation of this? Do you know what swatting is? I know what swatting is. Jeremy allegedly swatted? That's calling the SWAT team on someone. The armed police force. I don't think there's any evidence of this. At least chat is confirming there is no evidence of this. Okay, let's keep going. This isn't just about YouTube videos. Jeremy Hales instructs his followers to make false reports to every agency they can think of, even having her swatted once. Something needs to be done before one of Mr. Hales' followers take that extra step in protecting Redacted or saving the turtles, as he constantly pounds at them as a primary concern. Thank you, M. Redacted. Here's another one. Request, Wayne W. to these two emails. Looks like Michelle, Lynette. Please accept this as my statement regarding information I have received from Lynette about Jeremy Hales harassing her. So he has no personal, this is all hearsay. This is what Lynette told me, and I'm writing this from the information I've been told. So this is completely a worthless letter. He has relentlessly made false and derogatory and defaming accusations towards Lynette in order to get her daughter. I believe this needs to come to a legal resolve. Respectfully, Wayne W. So I don't know anything about it except what she told me. That's completely worthless. A word in support of Lynette Preston and John Cook. To the presiding judge, this is Angela again. I have been following Michelle Preston. Why do we have Angela here on here twice? Why are we repeating this? Can somebody explain, please? By the way, don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on that notification bell, and of course, join on as a member if you're so inclined. We do lots of fun videos. And you can also check out my other playlists and you'll find some fun videos in there as well. Why is Angela on here twice? I have been following Michelle Preston on her Facebook page. I am writing in hopes of helping her get a restraining order, typo, or injunction against Jeremy Hales. Mr. Hales has been cyberbullying Miss Preston for a year now or more. He has also instigated, typo, confrontations against Mr. Cook. All of this shown on videos that Mr. Hales has posted. I urge you to look at his YouTube channel called What the Hales. Every live he does is a long tirade against Miss Preston and Mr. Cook. Every live he does is okay. He says very nasty, mean things about them and often tells lies about them. His followers have tormented Miss Preston with nasty calls. Mr. Hales doxed her in his videos and put her personal contact information out. Mr. Hales appears to be obsessed with Miss Preston and now Mr. Cook. I do worry about her safety. Please issue the injunction and or restraining order. Okay, we heard it before, lady. Statement of facts and evidence log. Lynette Michelle Preston, August 2023. Video and photo evidence of stalking and harassment. Statement of facts. Since about May 2023, Mr. Hales has been attacking Ms. Lynette Michelle Preston. The videos within this document reveal a consistent pattern of behavior exhibited by Jeremy Hales. He deliberately targets older and vulnerable victims, employing a strategy aimed at destroying them, quote unquote, through a series of harassing, stalking, and character demeaning actions. These actions are coupled with threats that jeopardize their livelihood. His behavior instills deep-seated fear as his YouTube fan base incessantly reaches out to these victims via various means: telephone, written messages on social media, mailed correspondence, and even physical presence near their homes. In the case of Ms. Preston, Hales actively encourages his followers to engage multiple agencies, including CPS, Child Protective Services, in a coordinated mass reporting campaign. Typically, his actions are designed to inflict damage on victims' businesses, careers, reputations, and to intentionally induce severe emotional distress. Shockingly, these videos have resulted in physical harm. One of his elderly victims suffered a stroke due to the stress induced by his campaign. Who's writing this? Where's the evidence of this? Hales relentlessly pursued his victims for even the slightest reasons, showcasing a clear intent to cause extreme emotional distress through his actions. That is a disgusting accusation, especially without proof. We already had one. Now this is strike two. It's one thing to just, badmouth somebody. It's a whole other thing to accuse them of such heinous behavior, especially when it did never happen. Shockingly, these actions resulted in physical harm. One of his elderly victims suffered a stroke due to the stress. Who had a stroke? Yeah, Christine Gumson. Mary, the former town clerk, had a stroke as a result of Jeremy Hales' videos and actions? Oh, wait. Somebody's got an answer. Oh, come on. Is it not working? Did my thing freeze? Okay. So Mary had a stroke after she was arrested for battering Jeremy. She assaulted him. Oh, oops. Sorry, the chat is moving so fast I can't catch them. Oh, Mary had a stroke. Well, poor woman. Okay, first of all right, so this is not a baseless allegation. Mary had a stroke, and that was a result of her own actions after being, okay, I see. She was arrested for battery. And well, I feel bad for the poor woman, but she shouldn't have battered someone. And she got what she deserved, which is the arrest, but never wish ill will, like disease or illness or pain on anyone. You know, I've learned that as I grew older. So I feel really bad for the woman, but it looks like she brought it upon herself. So don't be an idiot. Evidence log number 1. Transcripts are exactly as they appear on YouTube. Number 1, incidents of personal information disclosure. A photo shows a posting of Ms. Preston's personal information. It shows her alias were posted on Jeremy Hales' business Facebook page. What the Hales? The title, how many aliases do I have? Date posted, July 11th, 2023. Here's the website address. Good luck typing that into. Good Lord. Jeremy Hales gives out Lynette's aliases to his fans. Video title, Cops Called on Bad Neighbors. Video date, May 19th. Here's the website address. Timestamps and relevant portions of the transcript at 58 seconds. This is Lynette Michelle Preston, except that's only one of her many, many names, and I wish this was a joke, but it isn't. The list goes on and on. So Lynette Michelle blank, it's Lynette Michelle blank, it's Lynette, all the different names. The list literally goes on. It's all redacted for her privacy. The list literally goes on and on. The aliases this woman has used, it's seriously, I mean, I'm not even going to read them all. This is a page 2. This is a page 3 of our current list of names that she has gone by, and she's about to drop all the wisdom on the town of Otter Creek. Jeremy Hales shows a photo on his cell phone with Lynette Preston's phone number and email addresses to his fans. This is C. Cops called in Otter Creek. Again, July 30th, 2023, timestamp 10:33. That's the link. Stalking and following. These videos featuring Jeremy Hales, again, exhibiting stalking behavior towards Lynette Preston and John Cook. Jeremy slowly drives by Lynette's house and recording, intending to berate Lynette and John for his YouTube channel. Video titled, Town Employees Quit After Corruption is Uncovered, May 17th, 2023, timestamp video link. Jeremy and his passengers see Lynette and John parked at a neighbor's house. He slowly drives by, yelling at Lynette, turns around, and falsely follows them to their property. Video title, Town Employees Quit After Corruption is Uncovered. Video date, May 17th, 2023. Website address, timestamp. C. Mr. Hales slowly drives by Lynette's property, recording and berating them to his fans. And then John comes out. They exchange some words. And then John shows him his gun. Mr. Hales was not afraid of the gun. And then John shows him his gun. Mr. Hales was not afraid of the gun. Why should he be afraid of the gun? Unless John is stupid enough to use it. Video title, Corrupt Mayor in the News. Again, video date, May 18th, 2023. Website address, such and such, timestamp, such and such. Calls to Child Protective Services. Mr. Hales encourages viewers to call Child Protective Services and make false accusations about Ms. Preston and Mr. Cook's care of their daughter. His intention is to create the mass reporting situation again that is being seen in this case. Video title, Who will go to jail first? Otter, misspelled ODD, Creek update. Video date, July 16th, 2023. Website address, such and such. Timestamps relevant, 10:09 to 10:17. Quote, coming down, and now Lynette has illegally stolen camper on her property with 2 drug addicts, redacted, and her boyfriend shooting a gun. If you not calling CPS right now, I don't know why you're not. B, Mr. Hales' statements in this video shows that he has knowledge of, quote unquote, everyone calling CPS so that Florida CPS can no longer ignore the situation. Mr. Hales obviously knows the effect of doing mass calling to CPS. Mr. Hales is purposely ignoring the fact that citizens should have firsthand knowledge about the situation that they are reporting. Citizens should not call and make false accusations because of what they heard on YouTube. Mr. Hales is purposely ignoring that citizens should not be told to call to force CPS to act against the parents. Video titled, Town Residents Demand Answers from Corrupt Officials. Video date, July 17th, 2023. Website address, such and such. Timestamps that are relevant to the transcript, 9:14 to 9:45. Quote, and she wonders why people call CPS. Here's the funny thing. She wants to be YouTube famous now if she thinks people are calling CPS. Now wait until they see her online, except they won't, because YouTube actually works on an algorithm, and you have to have good content, and you have to actually understand and have a brain and know what you're doing. But hopefully it goes off, and hopefully everybody calls CPS, and Florida CPS can no longer ignore the situation. They need to save the child. Same user, different question. How is waste burn piles, open trash, and yard turtles, etc.? Number 4, expressed wanting to adopt Lynette's daughter. This video shows where Mr. Hales and his partner, George, express interest in adopting redacted. Mr. Hales, for some reason, is seeking to have the child removed from her home by constantly calling CPS on the parents. Instead of finding a way to assist the mother with the child, Jeremy says he offered to adopt the child, which is the most extreme and egregious thing a man can offer. Okay? Objection, basis. Video title, Cops Called on Bad Neighbors. Video date, May 19th, 2023. Website address, such and such. Timestamps and relevant transcripts, 827 to 924. Quote, begging, we would just say, listen, to you're in your 60s. You're in an abusive relationship. You have an abusive environment for a child. How about we adopt a child? To the point where I told George, I was like, we have to do something to protect this child. It is not okay. So George had a second conversation in her life with her when she's going on and on and on and on and on about how horrible life is, and she needs this, and she has no money, although she's paying a bill for a brand new truck, Jeep Gladiator. Lynette has a brand new Jeep Gladiator, and she's starving for money? Something doesn't add up here, if that's a fact. And she's gone through her bills with me once, and my response was sell stuff. George told her, if you can't handle all the responsibility and things are truly this bad, you're in an abusive relationship. Why not consider putting your daughter up for adoption? That's what George said. And George and I had already talked beforehand that we would do whatever we could to save the daughter from this situation. I'm going to show you a video right now that's going to make a little more sense later. Of course, they're excluding it from the petition because it doesn't help them, even though that would literally explain why Jeremy is saying the things that he's saying. Very convenient, Lynette, very convenient to leave out the one thing that explains why he says the things that he says. Number 5, calls to other agencies and organizations. Mr. Hales has been consistently making intentional efforts to cause financial and emotional harm through harassment towards Ms. Preston and her family. He has repeatedly contacted numerous agencies, both personally and by enlisting others, to file complaints against Lynette and her family. In various videos, Jeremy explicitly mentions his interactions with these agencies. Additionally, he took further steps by meeting with the management at Winn-Dixie, resulting in the cessation of food donations to Lynette's family and her business. I thought the food was just for the business. She literally wrote in one place that the food is not for people, it's for the tortoises. And now Lynette, if she's the one writing this, she just admitted that it is for her family as well. Oopsies. Mr. Hales brags about, I'm telling you, it's these little things. If you pay attention, you'll catch all of them. And I know you guys are. Mr. Hales brags about all the agencies we have called to report Lynette Preston and her family. Video title, who go to jail first? Otter, misspelled O-D-D-E-R, Creek Update. Video date, July 16th, 2023. Website address, such and such. Timestamps and relevant transcript, 9:18 to 9:42. Quote, we've already turned her into the IRS, and for now, we've already turned her into the IRS. For that now, here's the funny part. John Crook wants to go online and say that we've done nothing, and yet at the same time, everything is happening to them one after another, agency after agency after agency. They've lost food from Winn-Dixie that they were using illegally. If the food was given and used for the turtles, if it was given for the turtles, for the 501c nonprofit organization, 501c for the turtles, that's what it's for, the turtles, not human consumption for you to barter with other people to do the work that caused it drops off, end quote. In this video, B, Mr. Hales again brags and states that he himself has been reporting to multiple agencies on Ms. Preston and Mr. Cook, and goes so far as to name some of those agencies. Video title, Corrupt Town Councilman Residents Under Investigation. Video date, July 29th, 2023. Website address, such and such. Timestamps and relevant transcripts, 2633 to 2657. Quote, well, John Crook wants to tell you I've done absolutely nothing except everybody say I've talked to, has been there. You've had CPS, there's IRS is calling, you've got Fish and Wildlife, have been there. You've got Winn-Dixie. The list goes on and on. Everything I'm saying, I'm doing. They don't belong there. And you go, well, Jeremy, what is there? We're doing that to you. Isn't that what Otter Creek was doing to you, pushing you pushing you out. Otter Creek was trying to steal from. It drops off. Number 6, veiled threats with weapons. These videos show the veiled threats from Mr. Hales, implying that he has weapons on his property and is not afraid to use them against Ms. Preston and Mr. Cook. A. Mr. Hales makes veiled threats towards Lynette and her family of AK-47s. Video title, upcoming town meeting in Otter Creek, misspelled O-D-D-E-R. Video date, July 9th, 2023. Website address, such and such. Relevant timestamps for the transcript, 420 to 432. Quote, guns around, swinging revolvers all over the place. Thank you, Mary Dale, for 2. Maybe you know what we should just have both of our families come down, put them on patrol right there across the street on our property. We'll set up patrol and we'll have AK-47s pointed there the entire time. This is what she has issue with because she wants to be watched. Oh my God. In the video, Mr. Hales indirectly implies threats by discussing his plan to use a mini cannon he acquired from a storage unit auction. He openly expresses his intention to target Miss Preston's property with it, despite George's effort to discourage him, strongly suggesting against going through with it. Mr. Hales maintains his determination to proceed with the plan. I'm sorry, this is getting a little funny because, come on, you guys, a cannon? Come on. A cannon. A fucking cannon. Video title, she bought me the town for our anniversary. July 27, 2023. Website address, such and such. Timestamps and relevant transcripts. Minute 107 to 106 and 56 seconds. Quote, Amanda said, what about a cannon? I got one. Remember the storage unit I paid $9,000 some $100 with the taxi derby? There's that mini cannon, and we're going to, I already have plans. We're going to test it out when we get back for the August meeting. What direction do you think we're going to point it at? Not at the cell tower. Definitely not at the cell tower. Yeah, not at the cell tower. But we do have plans to give it a go. It should be fun. It should be really fun. I remember when we first moved to Otter Creek, there was a neighbor. There was a shooting of a cannon once a week. Guess who the neighbor's going to be now? Guess who that neighbor is going to be now? You won't look. She just said, I won't do it. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it now. I have to protect our property with tanks and cannons. Oh my God. I'm starting to like Jeremy more and more. He's a hoot. Oh my God. Mr. Hales is very active and relentlessly pursuing Miss Preston online with an elaborate cyber-stalking campaign, with the intention of causing emotional harm. Mr. Hales went to great lengths by infiltrating Lynette's Facebook groups and sharing her private recording, which was initially intended solely for her most devoted supporter. Okay, hold on. Let me read that again. With the intention of causing emotional harm, Mr. Hales went to great lengths, all his 310 million viewers on his channel, or views, I shouldn't say viewers, but I'm sure he's in the millions for sure, millions of viewers, millions of eyeballs. He went to great lengths by infiltrating Lynette's Facebook group, sharing her private recording, which was initially intended only for her most devoted supporter. Supporter, singular. She has one person who supports her. It might be that Angela person. And he's probably trying to, like, Angela, you really need to see what Lynette is and who she is. And he's actually trying to probably educate her. I'm just hypothesizing here, but you can't make this stuff up. This is her petition. She has one supporter. This action aimed to erode her trust in others. Why is it plural now? and isolate her from the group. What group? It's supporter. She literally just wrote, you have a devoted supporter. I mean, if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, I don't know what does. Furthermore, Mr. Hales even asserted that John Cook, Ms. Preston's live-in partner, was supportive of his actions. Video title, Cops Called on Me by Bad Neighbors. Video date, July 31st, 2023. Website address, such and such. Timestamps and relevant transcript, 8:16 to 8:50. Quote, at the timestamp 8:50, Mr. Hales plays a private, secret recording on his YouTube channel. Excuse me. To ridicule and humiliate Lynette for trusting the people in her group. Quote, this is enough to make you vomit what you're about to hear. And just know all of that has happened, okay? And we're just gonna do this one take. We're gonna go through the whole thing. I'm gonna play and I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna play and I'm gonna stop. So here we go. This is a secret conversation between Lynette and about 15 people that she thinks actually support her. And then the mole, RM, otherwise known as Anna. Thank you so much for getting this to us. Here we go. And it's played, I presume. 8, intentionally harms food donations from Winn-Dixie. In this video, Mr. Hales tells viewers that he went into Winn-Dixie and talked about ending the food donations to Ms. Preston and her turtle rescue. Those donations were stopped that day. Video title, Corrupt Mayor is Scared and Hiding. Video title, video date, July 10th, 2023. Website address, such and such. Timestamps and relevant transcripts, 7:13 to 8:05. Quote, a little pit stop at Winn-Dixie. Got to talk to them about Lynette and John, the crook, and all the food that they're dumping all over Otter Creek. Winn-Dixie isn't going to want their name attached to all that littering done by these individuals and all the illegal things that they're doing with the gifts and the donations and the food that's being given to them. Had a very good and productive meeting with the store manager here in Winn-Dixie, and I want to be very clear. We believe in Winn-Dixie. We shop at Winn-Dixie in Chiefland. We love who they are, what they're about, and we have a great conversation. Their food will all be going to the local food banks to help people in need, in true need. It's not going to be going to fake turtle rescues. It's not going to be misused by individuals inappropriately trying to fundraise for turtles or using children for inappropriate fundraisers. They're going to the right avenue. They're going to the right direction. Everything they do is going to help those better actually in need. Number 9, intention to harm the business reputation and potentially the well-being of the victims. While some of these videos feature 3 additional victims, they collectively contribute to the establishment of a consistent behavioral pattern indicating an intention to cause harm to Lynette Preston and her family. In this video, Mr. Hales says he will not, quote unquote, let up until, end quote, Ms. Preston and her family are, quote unquote, gone. Video title, Corrupt Councilman Fights at Special Town Hall Meeting. Video date, July 29th, 2023. Website address, such and such. Timestamp relevant to the transcript, 4:36 to 4:58. Quote, all of a sudden, who's buddying up to Russ the Sus in a desperate attempt to save them? They're illegally living on the property. They're illegally having animals on the property based on Levy County statutes. They cannot be within a quarter of a mile of any residence with this nonprofit rescue. They know their time is almost up. Their days are numbered, and I'm coming for them. I will not let up until these 2 con artists and scammers are gone and that the baby is safe, the animals are safe, and the town is safe from these 2. They're quoting all this stuff that literally is destroying their argument in their petition for, it's like, who's stalking who here? The longer I read, the more the tables turn. Who is stalking who? Another victim, Redacted's niece. Following his refusal to directly pay rent to his elderly landlord, who is approximately 80 years old, Mr. Hales engaged in heated altercation with her. During his eviction, while removing his belongings, he encountered the landlord's niece, who coincidentally visited the property. Mr. Hales initiated a confrontational dispute with the older couple, attempting to assert dominance. What is he, Caesar Milan? I am not being aggressive. I am being dominant. You Sit down. This is my property now. Tss. This is my property. Belong to me now. Tss. I'm not being aggressive. I'm being dominant. He's asserting his dominance. What is he, a dog trainer? Come on. Tss. He's attempting to assert his dominance. After the niece departed, he called the police and endeavored to have her arrested on the grounds of an allegedly attempt to intentionally hit him with her car. He presented a bleeding spot on his ankle, likely incurred while moving out of the warehouse. The authorities refused to file charges. Mr. Hales tried to have this past landlord's niece arrested for trying to hit him with her car, which she did not do. The authorities refused to file charges. Video title, Cops Called, She Assaulted Me Part 2, Landlord versus Tenant, video date, August 3rd, 2021, website address such and such, time stamps relevant, 2:20 to 7:19. Incident starts at 2:20. At the timestamp 6:42, Mr. Hales is reporting the incident to the, is it Worcester police? Worcester or Worcester? I will need chat for the assistance here. Quote, tell me again exactly what happened. A female identifying herself as redacted is my aunt. She grabbed me and then she also took my vehicle. Oh, Worcester. It's supposed to be Worcester? It said, I mean, unless I'm blind, that says Worcester. Is that, you pronounce it Worcester? Okay, I'm the idiot in the room then. Okay, Worcester. We kind of skipped 5 letters there, folks. It's a silent R, C, and E. It's a Worcester. Okay. Tell me again exactly what happened. Quote, tell me exactly what happened. A female identifying herself as redacted is my aunt. She grabbed me, and then she also took my vehicle at me, and my ankle is bleeding, and she said she grabbed me. She grabbed me. She G-R-A-B grabbed me. No problem. And then she took her vehicle at me, and I attempted to jump out of the way. It looks like I might have not gotten out of the way completely since my ankle is bleeding, and I have the vehicle license plate as well. Okay, so it's Worcester, Ohio, spelled wrong. Okay, so I'm not a complete moron. I will take it. Sometimes I am. It's okay. Life, we're all humans. Number 3, other more recent victims. Mayor redacted, Madam Clerk redacted. Recently, Mr. Hales targeted Otter Creek Mayor redacted and the town clerk over a disputed water bill, alleging inaccuracies. He resisted paying late fees and proceeded to impugn her character and job performance. Despite being asked to submit his complaint in writing, he would even take an airplane from Ohio to Florida to just pay the bill without the late fees with redacted. During his visits, he repeatedly accused redacted, a 70-year-old employee, of stealing from him, accused her of corruption, and threatened legal action for corruption. When advised to present his concern to the town council, he not only criticized members who disagreed with him, but has also followed and laid in wait for them. Laying in wait is like, you're just gonna, like, with a gun, with a camera, what? He pressed charges against redacted for battery after she gently guided him out of her office because he insisted on recording content for YouTube inside said office. Is that the one that was arrested and had the heart attack? The stroke? This sounds like the person who had the stroke. Gently guided him out of the office? No, there's no way, because she was arrested, right? The reason she had the stroke is because she was arrested. That you don't get arrested for gently guiding someone out of her office. Please leave, sir. Ma'am, you're under arrest for gently selling someone and guiding them out of your office. What? No, don't arrest me. I was just gently guiding them out of my office. Like, come on, man. That's ridiculous. That's another lie. I think we just got another one. What is this now? I lost count. I literally stopped counting. Chat, help me out. How many lies have we caught so far? I can speed you guys up a little bit. I think chat is doing good, so we can speed it up a little bit to let's do 55 seconds. How about that? Let's change it up. Let's keep it spicy. Okay. Just like what is happening to Lynette's redacted and redacted faced harassment from Mr. Hale's online followers the day after the charges were pressed. Redacted retired due to Mr. Hale's presence at her workplace before she even arrived. Within approximately 1 week and a half, she suffered a stroke. Poor woman, honestly. Poor woman. That really sucks. But if she got arrested over her conduct, don't be a stupid. Don't be an idiot. That's pretty much the bottom line. Apparently, the charges were later dismissed. So she was arrested, charged, but the charges were later dismissed. Currently, Mr. Hales is redirecting his attention towards Lynette and other members of the town council. Mr. Hales seems intent on drastically disrupting the lives of these elderly and vulnerable victims, exhibiting a distorted sense of power over them. Excuse me. He has explicitly stated his aim to, quote-unquote, destroy them all, stemming from a $7 late fee on his water bill. Seems a little exaggerated, but okay. His central goal is to completely disrupt an individual's life as they know it, employing a unique type of elder abuse that is seldom witnessed throughout history. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, here you see the wild Jeremy Hale. Check it out, check it out. I'm gonna poke this Jeremy Hale with a feather and see how it reacts. Oh, see, that's a wild Jeremy Hale. That is a wild Jeremy Hale. Oh yes, let me poke it again with a feather. With a mark feather. Oh, there it goes again. There's Jeremy Hale in the wild, you guys. Very, very rare species. Very rare species. First time in history you get to witness the species condor something known as elder abuse in the wild. In the wild, using a marked feather. And their own purposes, we're going to poke the Jeremy Hale in the wild once again. Oh, look at that beauty jump. Oh, look at that beauty jump. Oh, this is fantastic. In this video, the town clerk is seen. My Australian accent was completely butchered there, but please don't hate me. I'm crikey, mate. I couldn't do an Australian accent there. My brain is fried. This is crazy. In this video, Redacted, the town clerk, is seen gently guiding Mr. Hales out of the office, which apparently sparked the notion for him to charge her with battery, which I think she was charged with. Not sparked the notion. She was charged with battery. This is misstating facts. Again, drink. Oh, yes. Tears of opposing counsel. Tastes delicious. Oh, Jeremy dropped the charges. She was never arrested. So he pressed charges against her, but Jeremy later dropped the charges. Interesting. Bad town employee kicked me out. May 18th, 2023. Website address such and such. Timestamps relevant. Transcript 8:43 to 10:35. At the timestamp 8:43, he arrogantly walks around the library, I guess Jeremy, as his employee records him, then asked Redacted if you could pay his bill. Redacted, can I pay my bill? Yes, you can. All right. I love how it's just like a solid text. It looks like a conversation. So I'm going to try and decipher this. Can I pay my bill? Yes, you can. All right. Where would you like me to do it? In there or out here? Okay. You know how much you got. You got your check made out. We're good to go. I don't know how much, but I would like for you to do an itemized bill for me. So here's what I got since you came in. I'm out here. I'm out there. No, I've got you. Don't have that option. Redacted. You're a public official. Okay, I will make you a bill. Okay, I'm going to be very clear. She's kicking me out of her office. I'm asking you not to come in filming because this is a public office. Be very clear. Be very clear. The public servant has just kicked me out of her public office now. I said at the very beginning, my lawyer put me on this task to find certain documentation. I've been now shut off, as this video will be used in the court of law against the town of Otter Creek. So I've been shut out of the office now. So this is a public facility, public, civil servant. And I've been shut out of the, what is this all, like, how is this relevant to anything about Lynette's petition? I'm losing track here of her own arguments. And I've been shut out of the office to even look for the legal documentation that must be on display. So we'll wait. I feel like the deputies are probably going to be here again. Well, might want to look at that again. Yeah, redacted placed her hands on me. That's a no-no anywhere, especially in a civil government building by a civil government employee. Can you even call her an employee? I mean, she refuses to do her job. 9 damages. Jeremy Hales and his spouse or living lover, live-in lover, or I liked paramour better, but now again, why would you use terms like living lover? Yes, she's alive, and how do you know that they're lovers? But okay, fine, whatever. And his spouse or living lover, not a deceased lover, a living lover, known as George, are the cause of Lynette's damages as listed below. Yeah, exactly. Peppermint Pig, literally, you took the words out of my mouth. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking Corpse Bride. I was literally thinking Corpse Bride. Limited to reputation damage. The victim's reputation has been tarnished due to the false allegations or character attacks. Business, this is, by the way, this whole page, for the most part, has nothing to do with stalking. This is more like an allegation of defamation of character of like every person in town. This is no longer none of this is about Lynette or Michelle or whatever she goes by these days. Harassment has led business deal being ruined, loss of income, damage to reputation and business deals has resulted in financial losses of possible donations, probably from the Winn-Dixie. Number 4, psychological distress, constant harassment, cyberstalking, threats of all cause severe emotional distress, loss of sleep, continuous phone calls, disturbances, and anxiety have led to sleep deprivation. Invasion of privacy, personal information, exposure, and stalking has violated the victim's privacy and sense of privacy. Cyberbullying, online harassment has led to cyberbullying, affecting the victim's mental well-being. Harassment trauma, the victim is experiencing trauma due to ongoing harassment. Social isolation, fear of further harassment has caused the victim to withdraw from social interactions. Loss of opportunities, harassment has prevented the victim from pursuing opportunities due to fear or reputation concerns. Physical health impact, stress and anxiety has led to physical health issues. Legal costs, the victim will incur legal expenses to protect herself and her family or to take action against the harassers. Defamation, so that's just one part, I guess. Okay. Defamation, false statements or rumors has damaged the victim's character and credibility online and in the town. Emotional toll, the victim has experienced great emotional distress from being followed and harassed. The harassment, 15, the harassment has caused anxiety and depression. 16, public humiliation. Jeremy and his partners publicly inciting, dislike, and defaming the victim has led to humiliation. 17, stress on relationships. The victim's personal relationships with her daughter have been strained due to the stress of harassment. Number 18, safety concerns. Cyberstalking and following has escalated to the victim being concerned for her and her family's physical safety. 19, receiving false reports, dealing with numerous false reports to agencies such as Child Protective Services and Wildlife Services has been very distressing for the victim. Impact on daily life. The constant harassment has disrupted the victim's daily routine and quality of life. 10, another, I thought this was going to be the conclusion, but there's more. 10, by the way, real quick, how far along are we? So this is page 37 out of 50. And there's a supplemental, by the way, if you guys remember. There's a supplemental on top of it. Let me refresh. Sorry. For some reason, this Adobe like either crashes or I don't know. Let me fix that. Okay, here we go. 10, another CPS call to action. This video shows Mr. Hale shaming his followers for not calling CPS and shows his intent to run Ms. Preston and her family off their property because he wants to get rid of bad people. Video title, Cops Called on Me by Bad Neighbors. Video date, July 31st, 2023. Website address, such and such. Timestamps and relevant transcript, 26:43 to 28 minutes. Again, by the way, don't forget to like this video. Those of you just joining us, comment below, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Join on as a member, or feel free to donate to the channel. And I will be reading super chats. Holy mother of God, we have 114 super chats. I will go through every single one of these, and if more come in, I will go through every single one of those as well. Just bear with me. I will at least do them very, very soon. Okay. Timestamps and relevant transcript. Quote, this is my neighbor. This is not okay. This isn't just me. This is George. Now, if it's just me, I could really care less about me. This is a person I love more than anybody else in the world. George is there. All right. What about when I have Christian and Patience there on my properties? You think I'm going okay? You think I'm okay with these people around? Christian and Patience and baby George? Absolutely not. Christian, do I ever get protective of you sometimes? What about Dana? You think I'm going to allow this to be around my employee, Dana? I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with this being around other residents in the town. This is not okay. And if you are sitting there thinking, oh man, yes, it is, you are part of the problem. And if you think it's okay, why don't you invite to come live on the property, to come live on the property and do these things? Why don't you, if you're truly in support of this, if you are truly supporting her, Marley, huge, if you're really, really supportive of her, why don't you let her move in right next door to you? I haven't seen you on her property yet. Don't you sit there and go, oh, well, it's because I don't want a YouTuber filming me. No, it's because you don't want anything to do with the mess. And they are a mess insanity. This is not okay. And if every single one of you who have heard this is not reporting this to CPS, you're not okay. I hereby declare under penalty of perjury and to the best of my knowledge that the information provided in the statement is accurate and truthful. Date, signature, stamp. No date, no signature, no. So everything we just read is all hearsay, speculation. What the hell? What the hell? It's not even signed. It's not signed. It's not dated. It's not, there's no signature. There's no date. There's nothing. That is so stupid. Okay. We're going to pause here. There's more to come, of course. As you can see, this is not the end. Additional video evidence. Evidence. Additional video evidence. Let's go through some super chats, shall we? Max Lab. Hey, DUI guy. Hey, Max Lab. How you doing? Helen Gall, thank you for the $10 super sticker. Richard Miller, thank you for the super sticker as well. Tanya Sharp, thank you. Marcus King, wow, thank you for the super sticker. That's a biggie. Thank you very much. Ray Mantle, join on as a member. Welcome, Ray, to the channel. Thank you for joining, brother. DJ Radis, thank you for joining on as a member as well. Same with Mike Cat Farts. Welcome to the channel. Helen Gall, welcome to the channel. Subi Sue gifted 5 DUI Guy memberships. Thank you. Shout out if you got a membership in the chat. Cat shit. Member for a whole year. Look at that. Full year coming around. 365 days around the sun. This case could be a great movie plot. You cannot make this shit up. Ain't that the truth? Becky Ashworth, welcome to the channel. Same with Judah Herman, Little B, Polly Bailey, and Barbara Petros. Hope I'm pronouncing all of these correctly. Welcome to the channel. Richard Long, welcome to the channel. Kayla Vance, welcome to the channel. John Carter, Quad State Cameras, Wild Stallins, welcome to the channel, all three of you. Also, welcome Connie B, as well as Michael L to the channel. Welcome, welcome as members. Kevin Riley, welcome to the channel. Sandra D, welcome to the channel. And Dawn Wittenhagen, welcome to the channel as well. Thank you, Tina. Says Netflix is interested. Yeah, I heard that. It's going to be interesting to see how that develops. Thank you, Tammy Hoshiyama, for the super sticker. Are you up for being adopted? LOL. I am so proud of you. Thank you very much, Debbie. Sharon Carter, thank you for the super chat. Someone left a 10-star review yesterday. I saw that, Caroline, one of his supporters, the supporters of Judge DeThomasis. He's probably going to vote for him in the next election. He's got one vote. He's definitely got at least one vote. I don't know who that person, it may be Judge DeThomasis himself. Who knows? Sergeant Mom 2, this deposition is crazy. Good luck getting through it with your sanity. We are about 80% done, almost 80% done with the original. And by the way, this is the original 50-pager. There is also, embrace yourselves, there is also the supplemental. And the supplemental is 338 pages. That's the one that was filed on December 4th. I thought we were going to be able to get through all of it today. There is no way in hell we're barely able to get through the original, let alone the supplemental. Does the judge understand the planet is watching? Shane Cook? I don't know. I guess time will tell. Wagstall 007, hi, what the hell is good to see you. I know they were in the chat earlier. Michelle Lavoie, thank you for the super sticker. Buckle up. Thanks for taking a stand with what the hales. Hashtag buckle up. Dorothy, thank you for the super sticker. Susan Scataregia, you will have a migraine for sure. She has 30 plus names. Ugh. Constitutional freedom fighter. Those aren't middle names. They are they are other personalities. That's funny. I think she was a pole dancer. Nothing wrong with that. Sex work is work too. Carnstum Kings and Rings and Things. According to the docket, a fourth temporary injunction was issued. We're going to have to take a look at that. Lacey was her stripper name, says Mike Richard, and so does Dana Harper. Talking about Lynette Michelle Lacey. Larry Lacey was her stripper name. She was also pole dancer. We are not kidding you or making this up. Janice Wingfield, thank you very much. Eileen J, there it is. Lacey is a stripper name. She also has 39 aliases. Eileen J, thank you very much. Salty Revenge. DeThomasis' ego is larger than his sense of judicial ethics. It's a canon public interest, thus justice is clearly compromised here. We're going to do a video on that separately. I already did a teaser on another channel about that. So stay tuned. Teresa Finn, lies already. Do we get to count the lies? Like counting the judge interrupting Jeremy's attorneys? I tried. I lost track because I don't know truth from fiction with this woman anymore. Candace Bingham, he filed Ohio on 9/2/23, which she knew that when she ran to the court. Yes, she lied. So it wasn't granted. He filed it, but it wasn't granted yet. Jeremy tried twice before Lynette did, says Shayana Baumgardner. Sorry if I'm butchering that. Angela Shelley says, buckle up, Larry. Thank you. Love you, Jeremy and George. Thank you, Angela Shelley, for the love. Lisa Jewett, awesome. Unsober. Thank you very much. Jeremy filed in Ohio the week before Labor Day 2023. He announced the filing on 9/3, ex parte granted 9/11, and she filed this 9/7. So again, it came after. Helen Gall, what the hell's is in the chat? Yes, they were. Subi Sue, hi DUI guy, got home from the office. Thanks for everything you do. And thank you for your generosity as well, being a consistent staple on this channel. Jeremy is in the chat. Yep. Thank you, Sandra Kelly. Delete Laws. What's up, homie? Thank you for the big one. DUI Guy Plus is fighting for our freedoms. Thank you, Larry. I sent the 60-second short to you on Instagram. The court battle has begun to save Hendry. Oh, okay. That's another case that I'm currently working on. And I posted the video last night of our latest court thingy. And thank you again, Delete Laws, for your generosity and support of the channel and the fundraiser that you created for Hendry to be able to, for him to be able to afford me. Oops. You need a button like Megan, but for all those lies of diabetes, thank you for following Larry. I plead the fifth, says Liz Williams. Thank you so much. And I agree. I need to get me one of those buttons. Carrie, congrats on your sobriety, Larry. Thank you very much. This judge is no judge. He must be disbarred. Anything we can do to get this done? Much love, Larry. Well, the complaints that are being filed against him by all people watching his conduct is exactly what needs to continue happening. Not to him. Don't flood his office. I keep saying it's the wrong venue. What needs to be done is all these complaints need to be sent to DeSantis. He's the one who appointed him, and the Congress people who have the power to remove him. Knights of Knee. She only lies 2 times a day, daytime and nighttime. That's hilarious. I'm going to remember that. Lisa Carper. Ohio grants automatic mutual PO during divorce. Protective order. Thank you very much. Kevin Cotter says judge has already written the verdict and opinion. He kind of did, didn't he? In a way, right? She's done this to keep him out of town hall, says Joanne Wall. Puzzled Puzzler says, years ago, Jeremy got a divorce. In the state that the divorce was filed, the state mandates that both parties get temporary protective orders. I think that is what Lynette is referring to in the information on the complaint. Okay, good to know. Thank you very much for that. Kirk Gardner says, what the hell's no. Jeremy filed for the Ohio Civil Protection Orders a week before she did. She copied us and filed after we announced we were filing. Interesting. Janice Wingfield. Lynette was denied her TRO, temporary restraining order, 3 times. She finally got hers after Jeremy got his. Very good. Philip Darby. Jeremy filed in Ohio around August, I think. Amy Mary. What the hell's is in the chat? Yes, he was. And he said he filed in Ohio a week before Lynette had filed. There we go. Gothic Embraces. Yet she doesn't add the child to the order for protection. Shaking my head. Patty Ox Wholesome. My apologies if I'm butchering that. Thank you for helping the Hales. You're welcome. This woman is out of control. She could be Judge DeThomasis' daughter. They're both nuts. I mean, the way that they're acting, they're like the same person. Puzzled Puzzler again. Lynette's family, thank you for your generosity. Lynette's family members reached out to Jeremy, not the other way around, to warn him about her. Lynette's family members reached out to Jeremy, not the other way around, to warn him about her. Very interesting. Damn, her writing is worse than mine and hi all. Hey, Jay Salmon. Jays, welcome back to the channel. Tyrants beware. She's only looking for sympathy and money. Very interesting. And I tend to agree now. Puzzled Puzzler, thanks again. Lynette thinks that handing down a nonprofit turtle rescue will set her daughter up successfully for a lifetime. And maybe it will, but you got to be careful. Salmonella and diseases, you know, especially for a daughter that is prone to these potential infestations and diseases and bacteria and so on. You know, that's important. That's important. Tommy Heron. So thankful you picked up this story and they aren't fighting alone against this nonsense. Forever a fan now. # buckle up. Thank you very much, Tommy. It's about the First Amendment, man. It's all about the First Amendment. We got to protect our constitutional rights. Otherwise, judges will start taking them more and more and more every day. Time Splitter 01. And as we can see, the whole world is watching. The whole world is watching this thing unfold in real time. And they're terrified if America falls, that's the first domino. The rest of the world will follow. Wouldn't be surprised if it was revealed the child had Munchausen syndrome by proxy. I've heard that term before, and I'm butchering it. I know that spelling. I don't know how to pronounce it properly. I apologize. Monasen, I think is the proper pronunciation. I can't remember. But thank you for sharing that, Time Splitter. Puzzler again. Lynette has gone to the DeThomasis School of Brevity, didn't she? Exactly. Munchausen? I'm trying, Your Honor. I'm trying. All right. Lynette has thrown each stone first. So when Jeremy and George got tired of it and fired back, I would too. There we go. Teresa Finn. I'm eating gummy bears for each lie. The bag is almost empty. Nice. OFF Sakes 81. There's new updates to the court record on the court's website. Yes, there are, and we will be updating that tomorrow. Jay Selman, she forgot to mention John Cook appointed going to Jeremy. She forgot to mention John Cook pointed a gun at Jeremy first several times. Convenient. Gloria Geiger, she's a toddler still. Thank you very much. That's when we were asking that question. I was asking that question to clarify. Boomer HIO, thank you. This crazy gold digger does not realize it yet, but she's going to regret messing with Jeremy and George. Jeremy has his faults, but we all do. So glad that you have decided to help. Of course. I mean, this is what it's all about. It's about helping people. It's about doing good things. It's about being just an all-round good person. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. Michael Dean, AK-47 was a joke after John said that George will get all her Muslim families. I know, it's a cannon, pointing a cannon. Come on, pointing a cannon. She calls her daughter Mama, Kathy McClure. That's weird. Is it because she uses her daughter as a conduit to make money? I don't know. As a means, disgusting. I'm getting drunk on alcohol-free cider with all these lies, says Shane Cook. That's funny. Janice Winkfield. Lynette calls her toddler daughter Mommy. Oh, that's weird. That is really weird. Robert Yonata. If there were guns and cannons being pointed at them, wouldn't a reasonable person call police and therefore have a police report to back this up? Exactly. It seems so fucking weird. Lisa Jewett, thank you again. The zoomed photo was on the diaper pattern designed to compare the diapers dumped on the dead dog road. See, I knew something was fishy there. Like, that's so... Ugh. The picture was showing a child's diaper was the same type as those dumped off the road. Again, to prove a point. Exactly. She posted her number and address, says Shayana Baumgartner. Thank you very much. Time Splitter again. Lynette and associates have allegedly leaked Jeremy's kids' addresses to child... Again, speculation, so I won't take sides, but that is disturbing if true. Lisa Jewett, talk to text. Welcome to the world of Lynette. Yep, I'm starting to notice that. Thank you very much. Jay Water, Roadless Wolf. Mr. Hales brings the receipts backing up his allegations and his reporting of Lynette and crooks in his videos. He also shows evidence of her stalking. Ohio courts found her behavior criminal and injuncted the duo permanently. The Fluffy Cat, welcome back to the channel. All the grief started when he said no to her donations box at his event. All her info is public and published online by herself, so it cannot be doxxed. Damo says, Larry, I'm taking you to court for being a good person and a likable guy. Oh, you're too sweet. And as I don't like that you have honor. Okay, the joke continues. The judge must make you change as you make me look bad. It's not fair. I have feelings too. That's funny as hell. That is a funny, funny comment. Good for you. Lisa Jewett, again, that email from Angela was sent the day after Jeremy stated he had filed for a child protective order in Ohio. Video of 9/3/23. Lynette has even stated some of the Winn-Dixie food went to people. So Lynette herself admitted that some of the food, like the discarded food, went to people. I mean, sorry, you guys. I know some people are homeless and they don't have enough to eat. And I feel really, really terrible for those people. But if you're doing it and you get caught, you deserve punishment and you deserve to be deprived of that opportunity. I'm sorry, not sorry. My homie Boyan, he says, woohoo, hello, DUI girl. I love you, bro. Oh my God, so happy for you both. Thank you so much, Subi Sue. She is amazing. Congratulations. She really is. Liz Williams, congratulations. She is beautiful. Thank you so much. I really think so too. Mistrust Loonwell, unless she's been crate training you, and then I guess the dog is out of the cage. Yeah, I that's fair. That's fair. I couldn't come up with the cat is out of the bag is really what I was trying to say. The cat is out of the bag, but I was so stumped and stunned and not ready for it to happen literally on my live stream as I'm live that yeah. I'll take it. The dog is out of the cage, but she has not actually. She's a very lovely lady, and I love her very much. I've fallen in love with her. I really did. Evelyn Holmes, thank you for the super sticker. Jennifer, she has a 501c3. It's public info. Michelle Crick, the first two times the judge threw out all these letter as hearsay because they were not there as witnesses to verify. Steeler 95 is Angela G, the Levy County advocate who's sending emails as evidence. I don't know. Debbie Childers, it doesn't add up, Larry. That's true. I agree. J.K. Buchanan, pretty sure they are talking about a court case from Ohio. He had a bad landlord, Marilyn Raby. Again, I would like to redact that, but I can't. It's a super chat. She had health issues and was stealing from him. Okay. The Jeep is a business right off. There you go. James Brady Stanley, what number lie? I lost count. I think we all did. Damo, thanks again. Mary is more likely to have had the stroke after her arrest. Again, it's a super chat, so it's different. I would redact it if I could, but I can't. But I don't know. This is all speculation anyway, so it's all good. She openly admitted that John Hales his gun. John Hales shown his gun? I don't know. So the only one who has threatened anyone with a firearm is John against Hales. Okay. Mary Burchett. The cannonballs for it would be a BB sized. That's funny. Damo again. Dear Mr. Foreman, could you please contact Mr. Hales urgently as Pirates of the Caribbean are asking for their cannon back? Kind regards. I just snorted. That was funny. Michael, are you aware that her business is a 501c? I am now. That was Ohio. She never told the whole story, says Donald Morrison. Thank you. Jay Water, Roadless Wolf, thanks again. Yes, it's her. She's putting her hands on him. He has a recording for her accountability of it. Fubar, a.k.a. Ugh. Could a mod please send a link to send pic to Larry? Have a merch idea for Jeremy. Oh, there we go. Cheryl R. Line Nut was holding a child in a diaper. Jeremy did get it on video, compared it with the trash on Dead Dog Road. The child was facing away. It was completely innocent. And this woman is twisting it out of proportion to make Jeremy look bad, it seems like. M.S. Krim. Mary, former law clerk, overcharged Jeremy on his water bill and was the only person on being charged with a different water rate than the rest of the two residents. That's annoying. Debbie Minton, they're being investigated by the state. Who's they? I don't know. Michelle Crick, clerk, retired the day after because she was part of a town lawsuit. Charges were not dismissed. Jeremy dropped them to focus on the lawsuit over records request. All of this is out of context. Teresa Finn, top Larry, my body hurts from laughing. I'm glad I was able to make you laugh. Tina Pullman, I think this was written by, again, I don't want to read the name. Ellie Fant, can charges be refiled against Mary? Maybe. I don't know. Let's welcome some new members to the channel. By the way, don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. Cindy Blumenthal, welcome to the channel. Alabama Rose, welcome back to the channel. Thank you, Mandy in Ohio, for the super sticker. Same goes for you, Lisa Wilson. Thank you. Carrie, welcome and being a member for 10 months. Thank you very much. Nancy, thank you for becoming a new member. RJ Medic gifted 5 DY Guy memberships. Shout out if you got a membership from RJ Medic. Peter Heyman, $2 super sticker. Thank you so, so much. Same with Melanie Makawa. Thank you for your donation. Dawn Wittenhagen. All videos can be seen on What the Hell's Otter Creek playlist. So everything that I was reading can be seen on their channel. This is not a secret. Diogi, welcome as a new member. Damo, again, I'm in the UK. It seems like she thinks his behavior is bad by recording in public buildings. It's nothing to do with a judge, as it's First Amendment protected activity as ruled by Supreme Court of the United States. There you go. Please, a total lie count would be great to show just how based on documentation after a complete review. We are about 40 pages done out of 400. So we are 10% done. And of course, there will be future videos on this. Please, a total lie count would be great to just know. Yeah, I just read that. Sorry. Thank you for fighting for the First Amendment. I am so proud of you and truly admire you. Hashtag buckle up. Justice for the Hales. Thank you, darling. Thank you, Chandler Remington, for the $5 super chat. That's my girlfriend, everybody. This lady right here. Isn't she the cutest? She's like I just heard from the other room. It's like, you're welcome. I love it. Kilobyte, I've watched you since Dep v. Heard trial. I have tons of respect for what you do. Thank you for fighting corruption while being a FT lawyer. FT. FT. I don't know what that means, but I'll take it. Mandy in Ohio, thank you for getting this story out more and more. They deserve to leave peacefully. For once, they are great people. Don't Tread on Me says, I'm out of liquor. Munchausen, that's how you pronounce it. Thank you very much. L has to file her IRS 990 or she won't have a 501c3. Child has a type of PKU my son has, and it's not terminal, says Dawn Wittenhagen. Thank you for that intel. Munchausen, thank you very much. Liz Mule, and mispronounced name, and Ms. Mule, thank you very much. Nightcrawler, sent you a timeline of court filings in email. Yes, I did receive it. If I am like swamped with what do you call it? Emails and everything. So I apologize if I didn't get back to you. I'm in the process. It's like literally Johnny Depp all over again. There's just so much stuff. Let's see. We're almost caught up with the super chats. RJ Medic, Batzlacha rabba, toda rabba, habibi. RJ Medic says, good luck in Hebrew. Thank you very much. Michael Martin, the transcript experts aren't contagious, cherry picked to remove context so they can weave the lie. I totally agree. I think that's very noticeable at this point. Don't Tread on Me, thanks again. Thank you for shedding light on the corrupt judge in my home of Levy County. I support Jeremy. Love it, love it, love it. Robo 770, Ohio subpoena Judge DeThomasis, judge find him contempt. I agree. Steve Kellums, thank you very much. Same with you, Deborah Dawes. Thank you. Oops. Thank you for helping What the Hales. Thank you very much. Main dad, no signature, no date, no stamp. I would think it's inadmissible in court. I could be wrong. I accidentally unhighlighted one of these. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go. I did not want to lose it. Sorry, technical difficulties. There we go. Okay, now I'm here. Okay, no signature, no date, no stamp. I would think inadmissible in court. I could be wrong. I mean, that's a big one. That's a big one. What he's talking about, folks, is this right here. At the end of literally 17 pages of information. 17 pages of information. Let me refresh it again. Look at that. Date, signature, blank, blank. Not dated, no signature, not notarized. We have no idea. Because like it says, I hereby declare under penalty of perjury, to the best of my knowledge, the information provided in the statement is accurate and truthful. If it's not signed or dated, it's 100% hearsay and can be used. I mean, I would never accept it as a judge if I was the judge. That makes no sense at all. I agree with you. Mary, thank you so much for turning red earlier. Congrats, love. Thank you, Mary. Thanks for calling me out. I love you. Deborah Dawes, thank you for joining on as a member. Sir Walking Tree, thank you. Lynette is an ordained pole dancing minister. Okay. Shirley Gold, wait until the corruption of the town with over 6,000 emails. Please don't. Chad Gibson, what can the Ohio judge do or request from the federal district courts against the state of Florida since the protective order is not being enforced, or is it solely on Jeremy to do? What can I mean, it hasn't risen to the point where it's necessary to take action, Chad Gibson, but it's getting there. Little B, God bless you and your special little sweetheart. I have been blessed, married for 30 years. I believe you. Thank you. so much, Thomas Robinson, as well. All right, we are all caught up. I am going to wrap this up, you guys. I'm gonna be. We're not done. Go to that umbrella guy. I'm gonna push you guys all over there right now. Ready? In 5. Thank you all so much for joining. 4. Thank you all for so much for joining. We're gonna continue this saga later on. What the Hales are on that Umbrella Guys channel right now. 3. I will see you all over there. I am going to join. I'm gonna be on screen. The stream is continuing over there. 2. Are you guys ready? In 1. Bye, everybody.